Uh-oh. So Enzim has one. Finland. We have to circle back.
That's good.
Yeah, now, Enzo one. What I said to Kite before you joined, I was like, although and shout out to Enzim because he definitely deserved it. He was outside that day, but it just seemed like a lot of other players just don't seem that same drive that was here like almost like a year ago. It's gone. Like, a lot of people just don't seem to have that drive, or maybe they were tired. I just didn't see like that hungriness anymore. And besides Enzim, like you could tell Enzim was hungry for that win. That's why he was.
Yeah, he kind of just
You
played better than
wait.
everyone else too.
You think Wade wasn't on that drive?
I don't. Wade seemed
Well, I
off to
mean,
me that day.
Wade definitely wanted to win. So let's be
Yeah,
honest.
I'm not saying like he didn't want to
definitely wanted
win. Like, of
But
course
Wade's
he wants
job
to
was
win.
done.
Yeah,
Wade's job was done. He stopped Kane or from getting his chance at winning. So, like,
but it's just
Yeah.
like
Wade's battle
outside
for
of
going
those
to
three,
Finland
it
was
was
already
like,
done, and then
you know what
like
I'm saying?
winning. So I think to him, winning was just like the extra, the icing on the cake.
Yeah, for real. Shout out to Enzim though, because if
But
he was
Enzem did
playing
handle
at
it, bro.
like
Like,
5
that.
a.m.
He
our
did.
time, hell no, bro. I'm sleeping. No way I'm playing.
No,
like
one
that.
thing. One thing I did notice
He
from
did
like
get
watching.
handled.
One thing I noticed from watching the tournament and stuff is that it seemed like they were playing really, really sloppy overall.
Who
Bro.
was French players?
Or
Yeah,
like both of them. Oh, the French place.
I think Wade in the beginning, like that game one of top eight, that first round of top eight, he was playing really sloppy.
Yeah. No, like
Yeah.
Enzem actually just played better than them.
Yeah, he really did.
Just,
He was just on
better.
point. The blocks was on point.
day
The
he was
strings was
better.
on point.
Is this the part
On
where we
point.
say Enzim just wanted it more?
Well,
I
mean,
can
yeah,
agree
he
to
did
that.
want
I
more.
can agree to that. Yeah.
That win means more to Enzem than it would to any other player, I think.
More than Wade, even though
And
he's been
like,
getting
as it
second
should,
place now.
honestly, as it should. What is that?
I mean,
I
Enzim
see.
had the most to lose compared to anybody else. So yeah, I would say more than Wade.
I think Wade had the most to lose, actually.
For real?
Yeah,
Well,
I would
so
agree.
what was
If he
the?
didn't stop Kane, he was not going to World Tour Finals.
Oh, okay, so that was his one condition. I seem like everybody had like a condition.
Kane still has like a very good chance at Kane still has like if Kane goes to LCQ, he might be like the favorite to qualify.
Favorite to win, yeah. That also brings me to that. Like,
Enzem just needed a top three.
what do you think is gonna go to the
Wade
LCQ?
had to stop.
You think everybody's gonna pop out, or just like
Nitro
I think
has changed
everyone
his
will pop
mind? Nitro has changed his mind. He's going to LCQ.
Did he?
bro? I don't think we're gonna find out if Nitro going to the week of, bro. Like,
Well, I mean, Nitro doesn't even need to do like LCQ. Like he could just like
chill.
if mad people go to bums, and he just goes and wins bums, like
Oh yeah, is TSL
like, he would
TSL
just
counted
like,
as
he would
power
knock
event
out Pred
or whatever?
Yeah, like all took.
Okay, so he gets the points. So he'll just have to do that in the calm, and then yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it'll be offline.
like Nitro still qualifying is like a very likely occurrence, but it's just like, does he actually
Does he even want to? Yeah.
he has a
Might say
sub
he had
goal
a
to go
sub
to
goal.
LCQ. Yeah, he has a sub goal to go to LCQ.
Then you guys
should
know
go
what
to
you gotta
LCQ.
do. You know what they gotta do.
What is the timeline that Nitro goes to LCQ and doesn't win?
I mean, it depends who goes.
Yeah, we don't all know who's all going, and
Wow.
it's kind of gonna be weird with the scheduling of things, because I don't even know if they announced like where in Vegas. I know they announced it, but like hotels, etc., etc. We're gonna see towards it. Like Dragon Ball, they have to say something at this.
If that
don't
shit
say
not at the
anything.
Mandalay Bay, big L.
Big
Oh,
L.
yeah,
That's
yeah, big
it's
L.
expensive though.
I know,
is,
but
but-
Evo did that shit. You know what I mean? Evo did that shit.
But that's evil.
Bro, it's Bandai Namco Entertainment, bro. Stop playing.
Yeah, and we still been waiting for them to talk to us, right? Like, what are we
Bro,
saying?
That bro, they got money, bro.
They had that
Let me get that
announcement
Mandalay Bay.
of an announcement.
Yeah, like
And, yo, the funniest thing is that I've seen so many people on Twitter call it, and then for it to happen the exact way is like, damn, bro, it's like a smack in the face.
I mean, we'll see. If it's at Mandalay Bay, we'll see. That'll be a W.
That'll be
But
hype.
That would be a W.
But yeah, all right. So now that the World Tour is kind of like
sight.
it's no, we still have Japan actually. So we still have Japan, which is
The
this
World
weekend,
Tour?
by the way, guys. You should watch it. It's not
Oh.
English stream, but we're gonna have to suffer with Japan.
Think you-
Japanese
Nah, you know
when's
what?
Japan?
You said
It
this
is
weekend.
It's this weekend.
So Japan is actually really interesting because Taco just won. He just won the Taiwan event, so he is technically in the tour now.
Who else will be
He's
competing
fighting for the
from
second
Japan?
spot?
I'm pretty sure. Yes,
So
he
between
snuck in.
Goichi and
Last
Finnish?
second, he snuck in, and he took it.
I think Taco
So-
plays more than all of them, right?
Lately, yeah. So Japan is actually really important because assuming that everybody goes, like Taco and Fenrich have to go to defend their spots. Actually, Taco definitely has to go because if Ecolon goes and wins, then he just gets passed. And then there's also Oblivion. Oblivion has a really bad placing for one of his power events, which was Evo. So if he were to just replace that and then win Japan, then he would just kick out. He would kick out Taco. So Taco has to go.
So essentially, they all have to go to compete for the slot. Japan gets 2 slots.
Yes,
Yeah.
Fenrich is kind of already settled. Like he just has way more points than everybody because of Evo. But Taco,
Yeah, it's gonna be a
Ecolon, and
timeline.
Oblivion are all fighting for the second slot. And there's just a
Possibly.
timeline, I think. Where actually no, Fenrich is kind of just in.
Possibly no Nitro. Possibly no Goichi. No Wawa. We already know that.
A timeline without the actual best players? Or is
crazy.
it
Well, I mean,
disrespectful
but
to
yeah,
say?
but that-
Is it
that's what we
disrespectful to
talked
say
about
the
last
actual
time.
best players?
That's what we talked about last time.
Yeah.
It's like it's a world tour. You got the world tour effect with everybody being like accounted for, but it's not a world tour in the sense of like the best players are playing. You know.
So
It's
is
whoever
it
grinding those
real? Yeah.
points.
So it's more of the battle of the points versus the battle
Yeah,
of the best
battle who
players.
grinded the
It
points.
is a world tour technically. The whole world is involved, but
by name, by name.
everybody. And yeah, it's a world tour by name, which is like what people wanted, anyways. But we don't even got to talk about that again.
But like they missed, man. If they had rollback from the beginning, then maybe it's a different combo. Like kind of like
Well, I mean, the entire tour started with Evo, so they actually had like a really ideally they had a really good setup. The tour started with Evo, hypest tournament of the year. Whatever happened at Evo happened, and then they announced rollback at Evo, but the rest of the tour wasn't played on the rollback. So it's like
it's played on
what even
imaginary. That is in here.
They had a
imaginary shit.
they had a good alley oop and they just didn't slam it.
They did
it was
slam
like,
it, bro.
You had the perfect setup, bro. Everybody was watching Evo. Everyone is mad hype for Evo. It was a hype ass tournament too. You got the 2 best players in the world playing in grand finals, and then they fumbled the bag
Airball.
severely.
Damn, that's tight. Tough.
Callie, you can pull
That's
up by the
not
way, Callie. We here in my Discord.
Yo,
What
so
it is.
I wanted to ask this the last time. So now that Enzim has won the regional, right? Won the last World Tour of Power event. Is he now promoted from Double L's grandson to now the father? He now promoted. It's
Well,
like
I mean, but that's something we gotta ask Double Up.
yeah, we asked Double L like where does it
Because-
happen now? Because if you think
Because
about
Fred
it,
and Nitro did that.
exactly.
I
So if you
don't
think
know,
about
yeah.
it, you're kind of like now their sons in a sense because they all have higher placements than you, all have wins.
I mean, there's a couple
And-
of things we can touch on though, right? Like we can touch on that on Enzim being the official 18. We can also touch on Measy losing first round. You know,
He
at
lost to Scrub
NEC.
Daddy, right?
Yeah,
That's true.
Anybody
That's
from
my
the
guy, bro.
What happened
18.
this weekend?
Yeah,
That's my guy. Scrub Daddy's my
But
guy.
I mean,
but, you know,
it all depends. Like, who do we like? What is the real 18?
Right.
The objective.
the concrete
The
18.
no, like you know.
Yeah, because
like,
I'm gonna
be
be honest with you,
bias.
bro.
18 type
you
shit.
can't
The
really
objective
put, in my opinion, you can't put Measy over Hikari on 18 because Hikari has better placements than Measy when it comes down to it. Because then Hikari beat Measy at Heatwave and then beat Kasuga as well. So it's like, how did Measy get it off of that? If it was off of that one set, then kind of not fair in a sense.
No.
All right, so here
Measy been consistent.
I think it was. I think I said it to Daniel, right? So like, the Measy thing is weird because you can't.
That
I
Cali?
don't like putting players that don't travel because then you get into this really weird argument where it's like hypothetically, if this godlike player went to Evo, then magically made top 8, like then they would be, they would be A team or whatever. But the thing with Measy is that like they live in New York, so people can travel to them. But Measy doesn't travel. So does Measy's performances at Heatwave and Bum outshine a lot of other people's performances?
And people that put that money in it too and traveled, right? That's what you're saying. With more variety of players.
Yes,
we can hear you.
What's good, yeah?
What's good, bro?
Yo.
Gang.
We can ask Callie. Callie.
What's good? What's the topic?
So how you feel about Measy being on the 18 still, or is he on the 18? What do you?
That nigga sucks. Bro, get that nigga out of here. He's not
no. Yo, it's just the way you said it, yeah.
Real shit.
Like he said it like it was like no thought. Like nigga, yeah, I gotta think about that.
No
think about that. Like
how about this, Callie? Give me your A team. Let's base
my A team. I posted my A team on Twitter. I think Measy was actually on there though. I can't even. I got the receipts proving me wrong. Let me go look it up. And definitely made this shit a few weeks ago when you made your shit.
Okay, I gotta hunt for it then. You said 3 weeks ago.
I should be able to find it. Let me just reverse search. Reverse searching on Twitter is so clutch. Yeah, I got it. It's my A team was Nitro, Pred, Hikari, Enzem, Measy, Garlic Bread, Zane, and Akbar. To be fair, I definitely would change this now because I definitely made this in 5 minutes for interaction. So.
Oh, I heard you.
You gotta do it. I respect it.
Yeah, I definitely just posted that shit to post it. If I were like seriously sitting down and thinking it, I'd probably make some different picks. But
now you said Nitro, Pred, Hikari, Enzo, Measy, Garlic Bread, Zane, and Axize.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think anybody? This is not a knock only. Do you think anybody else from that list will lose to Lee first round?
Lose to you?
Lose to Lee.
Update Lee.
I said Lee.
Shout out to the homie too.
Oh, you're so petty. Oh my god.
He's petty for that.
No, that was no. No, that's what Kai said. He stated that. I'm just reiterating his.
Yo, you see how I had to try to like save him a little bit? Yo, shout out to the homie, bro. That's the homie still.
To be fair, in Measy's defense, I think he was using some bullshit. So
not game one though.
Nah, bro.
I think he was playing.
Measy said to me
he was playing cooler.
Measy said to me that it wasn't the team that Lee just beat him. He said that in my chat like 2 days ago.
Ooh,
he said that?
Like
oh, real?
Okay.
He said it wasn't the team that he just beat me, and I was like, it was like that.
See, Drac, you said 1L gets you revoked. So the problem is with Measy, I think Measy's a great player, but it's like, it's not that 1L gets you revoked. It's like you're already kind of on A team based upon they're giving you a pass in a sense. You get what I'm saying? Because he's not traveling like as much as everybody else. They have to come to him to play him. So you have to perform to the expectations of A team every time. Now, Scrub Daddy Deleted is not a bad player. However, it's like you should not be losing to him if you're 18.
Yeah,
I beat Scrub Daddy
his
2-0
status
anyway.
is contingent
like,
that he doesn't lose in region because he can't travel outside of region. So you have to just always win it.
So if Scrub Daddy Lee beat Measy and I beat Scrub Daddy Lee at Heatwave, then does that mean I'm 18?
That's insane. I ain't gonna
think about it.
Lee, if you in the chat personally, I wouldn't take the slander because this is crazy.
I'm just saying. I'm just speaking in hypotheticals. I mean,
he bodying you. He bodying you.
May have beat him. Who?
Lee.
Lee?
Yeah, he cooking you?
Lee, I think Lee's actually beaten me in a tournament set before.
Lee's good though. Lee's not a bad player. I'm like, he got wait, because let me rephrase. He's not trash. He got second place at what was that?
KIT?
He just got second place. So it's not like Scrub Daddy Lee's whack. I'm saying that if you're 18, like, okay, let's be real. Is Nitro losing to Scrub Daddy Lee?
Are we talking about the KIT with like 2 entrants?
Like, I'm talking about
stop.
Nitro losing.
And we're the ones being petty? And we're the ones being
I'm not being petty. I'm saying that. Like, listen.
Nah, he's talking about what I said, Jay, bro. He's talking about what I said.
Wait, what did you say? How many entrants?
I said we talking about the KIT with 2 entrants.
Oh. Oh, it was
My
lonely
fault.
in there.
Continue.
It
No,
was
my fault,
lonely
my
in there.
fault.
It was lonely.
It was a little Akon in there. It's the
Nah,
lonely type.
Yeah.
we're gonna need the Lee money match.
They can
for
feel the
Cali.
AC. They can feel the AC. Is what you saying? Like nobody was covered AC. They can feel it all because
Yo,
it was.
all I'm saying is you can hear a pen drop across the room. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
snap.
man.
So,
my
well, in
Alright, so
in that case, you know, he got a.
I mean,
does Jack have a point? Does Jack have a point? Lee, Measy Absorbed might be on 18.
Yo.
That's insane. Jack no controlling, so I know that nigga season right now. Typing up them fucking sentences into season like shit.
He's smiling ear to ear right now.
I'm dead. Yo.
But it's
Nah,
true
like-
though.
Do you my bad, I was listening to something. Do you devalue a tournament based on the number of entrants?
yeah.
I devalue it based on the level of competition.
Yeah, competition. I feel because
Level of
if it's 10,
competition, right.
if it's 10 of the best players, then it's still one of the hardest tournaments. You
Oh
can
yeah, I
beat.
mean, yeah, that's true.
That makes sense.
But, like,
That's
in
true.
terms of
Makes sense.
open tournaments, then yeah.
Yeah, like
It's like-
for example, like Finland is way more stacked than NEC and have the same amount of entrants, like 34 and 33.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Finland's obviously the hardest.
How many were in? Was it 30 in Finland?
There's like 33 or
33.
34. Yeah, 33. Okay.
Yo, like at least 10 of them were trolling, bro. I'm not
That's
gonna
literally
lie.
the same. That's almost the same amount as Cats. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
More
But the
Like I
level,
said, how is Hook not on Cali's list?
Hook. I didn't count Hook because he didn't play. Because he fake doesn't play. When was that tournament he entered?
Propaganda on Hook. This
Hook
is
is a
the
content
propaganda
creator,
that
bro.
he's created for
Bro,
himself.
Hook. When
I've
was the
seen
last
him
tournament?
at every tournament.
Bro,
Hook is a
that's
content
sad.
creator, bro.
I
was-
saw
no,
him
no, no,
at
no, wait,
every
wait, wait.
tournament this
He
year.
was
bro.
definitely grinding earlier this year, but he definitely stopped halfway through. He did not go to Heat Wave. He didn't go to Evo. He didn't go to any of the
He went
second
to
half.
He did-
of the
he did.
tournament.
He was at Evo.
He
he
did.
was at Evo. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him play
I
since
think
Evo.
what you're saying,
I
Kelly,
feel like-
I think you're saying
he was at CEO.
I feel like there was just a really long stretch where he has not been entering tournaments. That's why I said
Season
that.
2.
Because I know there was a period of time where I have not seen him at any tournaments. And
I
and
think-
then the
yeah,
list
that
was
was
like
after
list was
Evo.
like a month. Yeah, and the list
Yeah,
was like a
it's
month
like a month
ago.
ago. It's a month ago. So that's
Yeah,
valid.
and
It's
I
a
made the
valid
list.
list.
Yes, I'm saying I made the list like a month ago. So in those 4 months before I made the list, he wasn't playing. You
Oh
know.
wait, no, he went to Mexico after Evo.
Yeah, he went to Mexico as well. He went to
That was
Foster's.
Okay.
Okay, so
But
my
literally
question is,
didn't-
so
the only
here's the
tournament he
question.
didn't go to was ECT.
So here's the real
Still
question:
Correct.
then.
Hold up.
Is
And he
are-
was at Heat
Oh
Wave
my
and
God,
He was
bro,
at
I'm
Heat
telling you, you're right. I got
No,
it.
I'm fact checking you, bro. I'm fact checking you, bro.
He said you got it.
I'm
I'm
telling
fact
you,
checking
bro.
bro.
Jesus.
Bro, what I was
going crazy.
What I'm saying for you, Callie,
No.
I think what it is that you're saying that yeah, Hook did go, but you know Hook at another potential, like at his highest peak. You know that's not the Hook we're getting. We're getting Hook like I'm here just to be here type. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I was legitimately saying he didn't compete. I ain't gonna lie to you, but he definitely. I'm just being real. That's just what
You
I thought,
it, bro.
you feel me? But
Oh,
it definitely hasn't been the same as he hasn't been at that same level. But even at his like weakest level, he's definitely still an 18 contender. You know.
Yeah. No Panda equal, no turnies in
Yeah,
his word.
I would definitely
respect
take
it,
out.
bro.
I would probably take out Garlic Bread and put him in there.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
valid.
yeah, that's valid.
He said, I got you, bro. I gave you. Yes, you're right. God.
I had to fact check him, bro.
Got a new
I'm proud
sound
of the
cue. There you go.
propaganda.
There goes your new points, bro. There you go.
You don't gotta press. You don't gotta press me like that, gang. Like I said it. You got
Bro
it.
was going crazy, son. It'd be like that. It'd be like that.
Okay. So
Nah, so
So-
yeah, go ahead.
so with this new list, then we're moving Garlic Bread from it. Do you think any of those players then lose to Lee? Silver also brought up a point that no, wait, hold on. Let me finish.
Yo.
Bro.
No. The reason I brought it up is because the only reason I brought it up is because Silver said that Macy still won the tournament, so does it even count anymore?
And he beat Lee in losers. He got his run back. So
He did beat him in losers.
Big guys run back.
But you're not gonna do that at every tournament, though. You know what I'm saying? Like to be honest with you, okay. Let's say, for example, you're at Evo, right? And this tournament has 600 players in it. If you have the possibility of losing to somebody, and not trying to diss on Lee, but if you have an opportunity to lose to somebody, just like anybody else can, if you lose and have to go to the losers, now you have to go through like 30 more players. So
I mean, Wawa did that at Evo and he still won.
that's true. Oh, how much did he lose to Drag? What was the set count? Was it like 1-2-1 or like 2-0?
Between
for Meezy and Scrub.
I think it was 2-0 and then 2-0.
Honestly, are we counting Wawa though? I feel like Wawa is like the
highest level, yeah.
I wouldn't count those in like general examples. Alright, you know I'm right though, fucking dickhead.
Well, Cali, so I feel like you and Cali and Daniel, you guys would know who does like at HOC or at OS, like how does Meezy's placements there? Would you say with everybody going? I think you guys will know more than like us. Because
I think the last one they got second.
Yeah, he's pretty consistent top 3. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, consistent top 3.
He got 2-0 by Scrub Daddy. That's what I'm saying. He got 2-0, so it's like he got a 2-0 back though. So he did get his run back, but it's just like you did get 2-0 too.
And Meezy, if I was in here, I would not take this slander because this is crazy, bro.
I'm just saying.
Niggas.
Should have answered the question?
Bro,
Answer the question, bro.
Is this a y'all saying it's like this is a stain on Meezy's resume? He has to forever
It's
deal.
not a stain.
It's not a stain. It's not a stain.
Like,
He's gotta go to another tournament and like wash it out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. He got to go to the laundry real quick. That's it.
I mean, I think it's fair though because if Nitro got 2-0 by Scrub Daddy Lee, are we gonna give him like a readout like yo Nitro? Come on, bro. Like did you just
Nitro
get 2-0?
looked your brother in CEO Taku.
that's true. He did. lose to y'all.
The energies that kept the same between all the players, then it's real. They were good.
Who said that stain is washed away from Nitro's resume?
It's a good question too. I didn't even know about it.
I have never heard anybody bring that shit up ever in any context. I have never heard anybody bring that shit up, bro. Like ever.
I mean, I guess it's Dragon Ball.
The weekend it happened, like literally when niggas was there, and then even then niggas stopped talking about it like 5 minutes later. I don't know.
It's weird, bro.
So like sometimes it might be a little top player privilege, but that's neither here nor there.
I think it changes depending on the person, maybe. As Cali saying, maybe it could change.
Yeah, maybe
on
the person, right? Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that's dick riding.
Well, yeah, it is dick riding.
Real.
It's
Real,
dick riding.
Alright.
Real.
So what's if you still win the tournament, do the stains go away? Like should Meezy just be absolved of losing because he won the tournament?
Well,
I wouldn't. I mean, especially I'm in this specific case, just because he got his run back and then won the tournament. I don't know how you could count it, to be honest.
it's true.
That's
I wouldn't
true.
count it.
Like
So it's a fluke,
Fred,
basically.
It's different because that was a true stain. But like for Meezy, like he won, so
So it's a fluke in a sense, right?
I think we should let him.
Fluke
slide.
is a crazy word to say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bad word to say, but then it's like he did come back in 2-0
Well, I
and
mean,
then he won the whole
sometimes
thing.
it is a
Yeah,
fluke,
it's Dragon Ball, bro. We all play the game. We know how it is. Sometimes.
Okay.
Not
Go
trying to
ahead.
diss somebody,
Touche.
Willie.
Touche.
Okay.
Nah, I'm just starting shit.
But then again, though, I got a question. If it's a stain, right? In reality, in real life, if you doodle on yourself, you can't get the stain off your underwear, bro. You gotta wash your underwear.
Bro.
what is this?
that was so insane.
Okay, wait, hold on. Wait, Cali, I actually want to bring this one up because I want to know your honest opinions, your honest thoughts on it. Okay, these are both our boys, so you know where I'm going with this. How do you feel about Neil losing to Meezy 6-0 in finals?
He didn't get a game. I actually didn't watch Grants.
No, he lost 6-0.
Not a game.
Not a singular game. Meezy came from
That's
loser
tough.
side and watched him 6-0.
I mean, what are you asking in respect to what we've been talking about, like Meezy's reputation? What do you like? In what context are you asking me that?
I want to know how much better you think Neil can actually get moving forward.
That's a heavy one.
Because honestly, I want your honest
it's a
thoughts.
mental block, though, bro? Could it be like a mental block?
No, that's not even like a trying to violate the question. This is a genuine question.
No, that's not. But it's not a lot. But it's partly mental, but it's also Neo being I guess it is mental because I feel like he's stuck in his ways, and it's a lot of stagnancy with his play. I think that I don't think he's changed his play much from when he beat Jazz Rap at Combo Breaker to today or last weekend, whenever it was NEC and shit.
So when you say that, is it like you mean like autopiloting, or like?
No, I think he just has. I think he just has a game plan, and it doesn't vary too much.
Oh, okay.
So, Cal, I
And his
know
habits and shit,
exactly
they
what
don't,
you're trying
you
to
know?
say. You're trying to say that he plateaued.
That's crazy. Come on.
No,
Why
you're
you
beating
like
around the
that?
bush right now, bro. You're beating around the
Yeah,
bush.
Kai,
That's
that was
exactly
so
what you're
mean.
saying.
That was
bro.
OD. That was
mean, bro.
That is
Damn,
Bro,
exactly
Neo,
Kai.
money
what
match
you're
this
saying
nigga,
right now.
bro. Money match this nigga, bro.
Damn,
That's what
bro.
it is to it, man.
That's
That was
exactly
mean,
what
bro.
It's okay. That's
It's okay.
Like just plateauing
I
is
mean,
not a bad.
it's not a bad thing because he still got good placements, but it's
Unless
just
you're
like,
Dilly.
damn, bro.
No, he's doing good, and it's not like it's. I don't want to say plateaued, but it's not like he's stuck in
Right.
a bad spot. Like he's a solid player. You know what I'm saying? He's not plateaued at a garbage level. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still top. He can still top 8, and he can top 3 as shown last week if he really wants to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mhm.
But if he just cleans up a little bit, cleans up the decision making, gets rid of the mental block he has.
I think I found a better word for you, Kai. I think he's just stuck at the level below that level, the next level. He's stuck at that level right now. He's like at a power level where he's still
Like, he
trying to
hard
break
stuck.
it.
He hard.
Yeah,
I ain't
he's
gonna
hard
lie,
stuck.
you definitely
It
that's
happens, though. It happens.
that's definitely saying plateaued in a pretty way, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I gotta be nice. I'm trying to be.
But we don't have to beat around the
I
bush.
don't
We don't
lie
have
to
to
my
we don't have to
friends.
beat around.
I don't.
Because I was making comments of that, like when he was blocking, he's always mashing something. No matter what, he's always mashing
Yeah,
something.
always.
Whether it's
so
five
like
has,
little
always
things
done
like
that. And I
that.
always told him that.
So
That's the
I-
thing with Neo. Like
Go ahead.
he pulled up to Connecticut. We played like the whole weekend, and I tried to break down like what he was doing, and he just doesn't ever implement anything. That's the problem.
Nah, but you know what though? That's a problem with like 90% of the DBFZ community.
Yeah.
Like they it's not even necessarily that they're stubborn, but I don't think that they know, and I don't know if it's Neo necessarily, but I really don't think they know how to implement advice given to them because this is something that's happened with a lot of people that I've tried to talk to about game plans and shit. Like when somebody tells me something about it, I'll really try and sit and let it resonate with me and try and figure out how I can implement it into the game plan. You know what I'm saying? And then if it doesn't work, I'm like, all right, they were wrong. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I
Right.
try to at least consider the things people say to me. I feel like a majority of the community doesn't know how to consider the things, at least consider the things people are telling them. It's always there to write it off and they get upset, like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? Or they just generally, it's just in one ear out the other. And that's not of them not wanting to listen. It's just they don't know how to.
You know
what I mean? I feel like it's
I
it's
see
like
what you're
that.
saying.
I'll give you that, Khaled. You're actually right about that because even whenever you lose tournaments and I see you in person, you rather people tell you, "Yo, this is why you messed up. This is why you lost." Versus, "It's okay, Khaled. You'll be better next time."
I hate that shit, nigga. Like, suck my dick, yo. Oh my god, that shit gets me so fucking.
But
tight, nigga.
But to that, I want to say, are we at fault for some of our friends being quote unquote plateaued for saying, "Nah, you had a good run, bro"? Are we at fault for that as
Yes.
well?
What do you mean? Like
Yes.
I show tough love.
I
What
think
you
it
saying?
depends though, because you know what it is. I think everybody needs that somebody telling them what it is, how it is. I just think that there's a time and a place for it because some people aren't like me, and you try to come to them after a match and tell them exactly what happened, it's gonna go anywhere out the other. If you wait a day or two, and then when they cool down, you let them know, you go over with them, it'll stick more. You know what I mean? So it's a person to person thing too.
Does it come off as being a hater?
I don't think so.
Yes.
Ooh.
Comes up
Can
as
I
being
get,
a hater.
can I get both sides? Can I get Jay both sides and then Kites?
So you're saying like for me it's like if we really friends, right? And you my boy and I'm training with you every day, I'm coming to your crib or whatever, and you see me doing something over and over and over, like how are you gonna just sit? If you're really my friend, I'd rather you be real with me than let me sit there and just get embarrassed over and over. It's like you getting your ass beat by somebody and you like, yo bro, he's gonna throw a left punch and you keep trying to dodge the freaking right punch and he's punching the left punch. Are you gonna sit there and just keep getting punched by the left punch, or are you gonna eventually dodge if your friend is telling you to dodge? So that goes to now a personal thing. Not hater, it's just fact at this point. I can't get mad at the fact.
So you know what? It is hating because whenever I do that, people tell me I'm hating. So
you're just a
I'm
hater.
crying. You so goddamn petty.
So I feel like if
Petty
I'm a
podcast.
hater, then it has to be hating. It
This
has
is a
to be.
petty podcast, bro. You
It
need to
has
to the
to
petty
be. Every
podcast.
time that I say
That's
shit
literally
like
is
that,
what this is.
you're just hating. It has to be.
I'm asking that because even examples when we're holding our friends, when we're talking to our friends, like, "Oh yeah, Kelly had a good run." Kelly's like, "No, I didn't. You don't gotta lie to me, right?" But at the same time, at what point do I say,
Don't lie to our friends.
"Yo, bro, now you played terrible"? Like, how far can I go until it's like, yo, all right, Danny Mac, like, what's good with you? Like, what's up with you? Like, why you violating me?
Oh my god.
Well, I mean that's just like person to person. Like when I played at CEO and then I lost to Shanks, like Pred told me right after, he's like, bro, like I told you what to do. You played like shit, and I was like, I know. Like it's like it just depends person to person.
Yeah,
Like,
this
maybe
person,
Callie doesn't want to hear
yeah.
that, but like
So when he said that, that didn't bother you?
no, because I knew I sucked because I knew he told me exactly what was gonna happen, and then I didn't do
Okay.
what I was
It's
supposed
a
to do.
combination of both
And
then.
then I was
It's
like,
like
oh
you have to be
shit,
accountable, and then
I'm
your
stupid.
friend has to be real with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, well, what's he gonna do? He's gonna be like, good try. He's like, no, like,
I
Fred
fucking
literally
good try.
told
I
me
don't
what was
like
gonna
that.
happen. It happened, and I didn't do anything about it. Like, yeah, told me that I was fucking playing like shit.
Trash. Yeah.
It definitely
That's how
comes
my
down
friends
to
are, though.
accountability more than anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely comes down to accountability at the end of the day more than
Yeah.
anything.
Gotta
Even if
be
somebody's
accepting.
coming to
But
you
like,
and
but
telling you,
there's
yeah,
also
you
like
have
the
to play
flip
like
side.
that.
Like, there's the flip side. Like, what at CEO in December, I lost to Jazz Rap at 9th, and like, I fucking played like shit. But then Ray was like, bro, like it was your first major. Like, just look at the bright side. Like, there's only up from here. So it's like, it just depends.
Right.
It actually just depends.
This actually
He's not, in a
happened.
sense, he's not wrong neither.
So
He's
at
also right,
Frosty's,
yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember this for the people that were there. At Frosty's, after Pred had lost to, I believe it was Jazz Rap, Posey goes up to Pred saying, "Oh my God, Pred, you did good stuff." And then he says, "Oh, we should have came here on time." And Pred presses Posey. He's like, "Yo, leave me alone." Dad, I was like, "Leave me alone." Right. At what point, even if you guys are close friends, even then it's still really, really, I guess, a shaky line to say, "Oh, yo, Pred, you did good," or "Pred, you did bad." It's always really, really shaky. So it's really hard to teeter between that line. So how do we
I
do
think
that? How we do better as friends?
I think you got to know your friend first of all. If
Read
that's
the
your friend,
moments
you got
too,
to know
yeah.
how they gonna be. You know what I'm saying? It comes if we're talking about on a friend level, like talking to my niggas and shit.
Yeah.
It's partly you got to know your friend. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know and you are teetering that line, then you always just play it safe. You just give them space. You don't. I like when my boys lose. Honestly, I'll just like give them a little pat on the shoulder, and then that's it. And if they start talking, I'll start talking back. You know what I'm saying? I'll let them lead. I'll follow their lead. If they don't want to talk, they nod and walk away. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think if you really don't know and you teeter in that line, I think it's better to play it safe because nobody likes to lose, and nobody's gonna be happy losing. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of how well do you take it.
I believe
So
that
you
you
gotta
shouldn't
play
go
around
up
it.
to the person after they lose, but if they go to you and then you start talking about it, then it's okay. But if you pull up on
Yeah.
somebody right after they lose, bro,
He
you're a
curse you
terrible
out. You
person.
gotta hold that.
You're
You
a
just
terrible
gotta hold
person.
that, yo. You gotta hold that.
If you start saying shit after they lose,
Like immediately, like straight off the
yeah,
stage,
like they're walking off the stage,
Kind of
and
like
talking to them, like bro,
like when Sage lost at War Tour. Remember that?
yeah, like say lost that World Tour,
Yo,
and then they walking off the stage, like how does it
That's
feel to
crazy.
lose?
That's crazy. Like,
Bro,
yeah,
what the
bro, come
fuck?
on. What are you saying to me
Shut
right now?
up, bro.
At that point, that's
That shit was
swinging, right?
terrible.
You got to swing
I
at
would have
that
flipped
point.
it on so. And I would have flipped it so bad. So if you lost your job, and I was
Bro.
like, "How does it feel to lose your job?" You gonna tell me that in an interview?
Bro,
I'm
like
broke.
nigga, I remember that shit so fucking vividly because I was mad for Sage, nigga. Like,
Yeah,
why are
that
you
shit
in
was
my
hard.
face right now? What the fuck?
They don't be thinking it through, bro. That was just
Sage,
like,
no,
yo.
and it was even worse when you take into account how Sage lost. Like it was his fault. Like
the key
he got the
charge.
misinput.
Yeah, because you did the
He
key
got the
charge.
key charge
Yeah,
misinput,
yeah.
and then that's how he lost. And then it was like, oh, how does it feel to lose? Koichi's really good, huh? It's like, bro, bro, shut up.
Yo, hearing it again, it's like, yo, there's no way this actually happened, bro. This is real life.
Nah, it was
Damn,
definitely
bro.
terrible. But okay, so how about in situation? I think Double Up. It was Double Up who brought it up last week. He said, in between matches, like if I'm playing a set and I'm playing against you, J Bo, Cali, whoever, and he sees something that I could potentially do better to win that set, he still won't say anything because he might mess up your flow chart. What do you guys think about that?
In a casual set
Don't
or
coach
in a
people
No,
that
tournament?
don't ask to be
tournament.
coached.
Tournament.
Don't ask people.
Yeah, you're not
like,
coaching
like,
me
I'm
in
not
tournament.
talking about do it in the
What are
middle
you
of the
saying?
tournament.
What?
Yeah.
This actually happened to me. I played same tournament, CEO in December against Jazz Rap. I played game one because back then I was playing the Kid Buu Vegeta shit, right? And he was playing Yasha's team, and I did mad good game one. And then Pumper Jam pulled up on me. He said, "Yo, you should start Kid Buu." And I went to character select and I thought about it and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And then I got bodied game 2. And then I was like, bro, like when I watched it back, I was like, bro, I should not have done this. Because I played mad good when I had Vegeta out in front. So, bro, if you're not somebody's designated coach, do not give them advice, please. Like as CEO the following year in 2022, when I had to play Shanks, I literally told the staff, I'm like, Pred is my coach. He gets one like 30-second, like I get to talk to him once for 30 seconds between matches, and that's it. If you're not somebody's designated coach, do not speak to them during matches, please.
Because then, like, if you think about it, like in like let's say a boxing section, right? You can't have a random person just come up to you, and be like, "Yo, I think you should do this." He gonna get your ass knocked out because,
bro,
like, what are you
not,
doing?
like,
But even then, right? Like, even when that person does say it, you don't have to take their advice.
But it throws you off your focus.
It's I wouldn't even say necessarily focus. I think you just have. I think it's more confidence. I think you have to have the confidence in your decision making and your play, your game plan. So that to the point where not necessarily that you don't take other people's advice, but when you hear other advice, you know whether or not you need to listen to that or not. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Real shit.
I'll give you guys a recent
Nathan
example.
does not give you advice. Don't talk to me while I'm playing.
I'll give you a recent example. At UFA, Zane comes up to Kusik and Kusik is talking for the majority of the time. And Kusik gets a lot of credit for it. But when we go back and Zane's talking on his stream, Zane says, "Oh yeah, all that Kusik was saying, no, I didn't take any of that advice." So even
go, nigga. Bro, see, I ain't listening to none of that.
Yo, you guys remember?
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what it is. You know
remember that Kobe Bryant with Chris Tucker, and Chris Tucker's talking to Kobe Bryant, and Kobe's just standing there, and Kobe's just standing like focused, mad in the game. He's not paying attention to nothing Chris Tucker is saying. Chris Tucker's just saying all these jokes, and Kobe's just standing there like with a blank face. Let me see if I can find it and show it to you. It's literally that.
I have to see that too.
It's literally that.
So when Zane is the one who says, "Oh, I want some advice," and then he seeks the advice, and then the advice that's given to him is like, "Nah, I don't need that. I'm gonna play my game." Thank you for the talk, though. Like,
yeah, Daniel, I'm gonna DM you.
What happens at this point?
I mean, it just depends who you ask for advice, bro. Like, I'm not gonna have me personally. I would not ask Kusik for advice, but that's just me.
But he didn't ask for it though, right? It was unsolicited.
Zane came up.
What do you?
Zane came up looking for it. Zane came up looking.
Oh, Zane looked for it.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
But also, it's different because maybe he just needed to hear what was happening. Not necessarily he needed advice on what to do.
Oh, it definitely was Chris Rock.
Maybe Acoustics was just breaking down what happened, and he needed to look
at
it
this.
Objectively. Not necessarily.
Yo, that nigga has the blink face. Yeah.
Maybe it was just Zane just needed a timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could need that different perspective. Yeah, just to talk it out, just to hear it. Not even necessarily for advice. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Sometimes you just need that different perspective for real.
So it constantly varies. So this is a player-to-player thing. You just have to know how to talk to your boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, don't lie to your homies, guys.
What'd you say?
Don't lie
to your homies.
But yeah, that's what I'm going back to the initial question of the Neil and Mizi. Do we be honest with Neil and tell him, hey Neil, you can't be mashing all the time 5S. That's not you mashing to H here. You have to understand. You have to block. If you was to block out an extra second, you probably put yourself in a better situation.
See, but this is the thing. Neo, I've told that to Neo a million times already. He presses 5S a million times. I'm like, bro, that's if you could press 5S, you could just do EX, and it's just such a much better option. But I can tell him that a million times, and if he doesn't it doesn't click in his head to do it, then me telling him the 110th time doesn't matter.
At that point, it's up to him now because I already gave you the.
It's no matter what I say, I could reiterate the game plan. I could tell him XYZ 45 times, but the 46th time doesn't matter if he never does it. So it's just I'm just talking to a wall, which is also why I don't give advice to people that don't ask for it.
That's interesting. Lex was saying the same thing. Lex was actually saying the same thing. Unless you come up to him,
like,
you don't
bro,
give him
like
advice.
what do I look like telling you X, Y, and Z, giving out knowledge, and then for you to just say this game sucks, and then and just complain over and over again. Like there's no point. You're just wasting my time.
Okay.
Like you're gonna I'm gonna give you advice. You're gonna just complain the next time. I'm gonna give you advice again, and that you're not gonna take.
So then
The
how do we
Yeah.
as a community then, not just on the friendship level, just overall, how do we boost each other to be better? Because sometimes our egos don't let us be like, yo, Callie, what do you think I could do better? Sometimes our egos are in the way.
But that's you can't do nothing at that point.
Yeah,
can't do
that's
anything.
a person to person. I feel it's a player to player.
Whether it's ego or it's just their inability to retain the information they're telling you, if they can't reach halfway, then you can't do anything at that point.
Yeah.
You can only do so much on your end, but if they're the ones trying to get better, it's up to them.
That's why I think that I see it, especially Dragon Ball players. And it's funny because people always tell me that I have an ego. And maybe I do. I probably do. But it's
You
different
definitely do. Yeah.
when you can drop your ego and actually learn. Like when Nitro cooks me, I'm not like, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, all right, I got bodied. What the fuck can I do better? But people can't do that. It's like
I know what it is, bro.
They can't accept that they got fucking cooked.
That's what it is, bro. You can't be
That
real
they're
with
not-
yourself,
that-
bro.
Like you can't accept that you got cooked by someone better than you.
Yeah.
And you just start OSing and be like, oh, man, XYZ. Like, come
Bro,
on.
if I'm saying it, because I talk shit, and I just talk shit to talk shit, but I'm one of those people, like, I'll keep talking shit, but in the back of my mind, like, when Twitter's gone, I'm out of the set, it's just me and Justin or whatever, I'm like, yo, you know you got your ass whooped, bro. Like, you just talking shit because you're mad right now. You know you got your ass whooped. You know what you have to go do. So I take it and I apply what I know I have to do, and I use that fuel to get me to get better. Other people will just kind of blame it and not be like, nah, he sucks. Da-da-da, da-da-da. I'm never going to tell somebody who beat me you're better than me because I'm not going to do that. Like, my pride is different.
That's
However,
ego. That's pride.
in the back of my
pride.
head, I mean, that's just me to you as a person to person, but in my head, I know you're better than me. But I'm going to make myself become better than you. So now, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I am as a person, though. Other people are different. Other people can't be real with themselves because I know if I lose to you, I know you're better than me at that moment. My pride, I'm not going to tell that to you. I'm going to keep that to myself. That's how I am.
No, that's real though. A lot of people definitely just not admit to themselves or to anybody else if somebody's better than them. You know what I'm saying? They always have to be the better person, and that's just stunts your growth. I mean, even if you want to, act all high and mighty and shit, you gotta be able to be real with yourself. If
See,
no one else,
I'm not someone that is delusional. Like, if I get bodied, like, that's just is what it is. Like, I'm not somebody that's like, oh, I got cooked, but like X, Y, and Z, like in this magical world, then I'm the best. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got bodied, I lost. Like, that's just what it is.
So was this
You know what I
match
mean?
actually
Like,
better
I
than Pride?
Yo, your chat, Daniel, yo.
On that day?
No, but
Yeah,
one thing
you're
I
right,
actually
bro.
want to be one thing I actually want to be really real about is the fact that like we have to stop blaming everything else but ourselves.
That is true.
It's a big
Unless it's
trend.
online.
I do think Callie's one of the players that I actually, for a fact, I know he said it for sure, that people tend to blame everything else but themselves, and that's corny to me. I find that so corny. It's always it was because of this or because of that. That is beyond corny to me. And I think it's to a point like we've been playing this game for so long that you should just understand what you're getting into when you boot up the game, when you join a tournament. You should know what you're getting yourself into to the point that regardless of what happens in that set, if you lost because of a decision you made. It could have been a decision you made. What?
You spin,
Unless
you
it's
spin,
online.
But if my opponent plays lab coat, it's not my fault.
But what if you're also playing lab
Real.
coat?
It doesn't matter.
Wait,
That's how it be, though. That's how it be.
wait,
That's how it be. That's how it be,
why
though.
doesn't it matter?
Because they're
Because
playing
lab
lab
coat
coat.
spin.
Exactly.
We spin, I spin, we all.
That's the dismantlex right there. He'll
So
pick
then
lab
player-
coat and then tell me that it was lab coat.
So then players that play lab coat and win, are they not valid?
They're valid, just not against me.
Oh, I guess it.
No, like exactly how Callie said that. It's how I think, but in the back of my head, I'm like, nah, nigga. Like I'm going to beat you. Like I'm going to beat you. I don't.
But what
care.
happens? What happens even then when those players are beating you without lab coat?
It won't.
It'll never happen. Simply.
They won't. It'll never happen.
See, it won't happen. It's not
Don't
happening.
get
But that can't be true. That
Oh
can't be
my
true.
gosh.
Well, actually, yeah.
Bro.
You bring up True Awesome.
Yeah,
but-
we letting that rock? That's crazy.
No. Hold on. We bring that up. But True Awesome be cooking people with the Goku show. Lab coat players and all. So is True Awesome just that much better than his opponent?
Online or offline?
Well, he's only been playing online.
Are we
Well,
taking
we
net
would never
play
know
in-
until
you
he
know what I'm
does it
saying?
offline.
Are we giving? Is net play credible? Is net play?
All right, let me say this real quick.
Uh-huh,
If I
uh-huh.
wash you 10-0 online, what are the chances that the story is going to be different offline?
I think that's true, but I think
That's
that's
true.
only true in that circumstance. I think
Yeah.
a 2-0 tournament setting, 1-2, doesn't show anything. If I'm running a
I
long
agree
set,
with
it's
that.
different, but
Yeah,
PC
you
and
get
Parsec
10
is
in a
fair.
long set, yeah, but the first to two and calm on PS4, like, come on now. Sometimes we know how that is. We all have been in it before.
Yeah, long sets.
You'll get in a
not-
4-frame, you know.
Yeah,
But
long,
if
it doesn't have to
person
be first to
scratches
two.
you in a set, then yeah, you gotta hold that.
Yeah, we play first to orange square, right? And I wash you
Yeah.
10-0.
Oh yeah, then you gotta hold that. Yeah, you're on square.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do I say
Yeah,
no?
first,
No, J-Boy, you only beat me because you're playing online. If we were playing offline, it wouldn't be 10-0.
You gotta hold
Like,
that.
there's not much.
Wait. Well, the connection does depend too.
Yeah, it
If I
depends
put you in a
too.
10
No, let's say-
and it's a consistent 4+
No.
frames, like, are we really counting that? You
No,
know
we
what I'm saying?
do. We could do a consistent 1 frame, 2 frame. You know, a
Ah, yeah.
consistent.
Yeah, you gotta hold that. You gotta hold that. You gotta
No,
hold that.
man, yeah.
Gotta hold that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
think
So,
So
PC
that's
I think
the
PC and
law
Parsec is fake.
in
That shit
Dragon
doesn't
Ball, I
matter to
feel.
me.
You said PC parsec is fair?
It's fake. That shit don't matter to me.
Well, all versions of this game online is fake, to be honest. Like we
Yeah.
all play this game all offline.
It's
We know what
definitely
they
all
really
fake,
feel like.
yeah.
They're all fake. So that's why it's just like. But if you do get 10-0'd, like, not gonna
Hey, give me
lie,
one sec, I'll be right back.
10-0 is kind of OD. You know what I'm saying? If somebody 10-0's you, 10-1 you, that's like, is it really online at that fuck? Like, you
there's
just
not
get
really
smacked
there's
up.
not really much. Like, one example I could bring up, right, that comes to mind immediately is the Kusix versus Punk, right? When Kusix beats Punk, when Punk beats Kusix like 7-2, I believe it was, or 7-1.
Mhm.
Is there really much that Kusix can change to actually change the score to make it 7-5 or 7-4 his favor or something like that? Is there much that he can change, or would it be the same offline?
Because they play two different sets, I think both those sets literally shows you how Punk was just like, remember how he was asking questions from the stream and he got mad, like the whole soundbite everybody has right now, like you're
Yeah.
stupid or whatever. He did that because he didn't have the knowledge. So now when he had the knowledge and he played Acoustics again, even though Acoustics did make a pick that I don't know why he picked, he adapted to everything, and that showed that it was literally the knowledge that Punk was lacking to beat Acoustic. It showed right there that it had nothing to do with online, had nothing to do with anything else. I just didn't have the knowledge to beat you. But now that I have the knowledge, I beat you.
So can we also say that a lot of players just lack the knowledge of the game?
Yes, and for facts. Because you know what? And this is what I say about this community a lot. This community will say nerf a character, and then, the game's going to get fixed if this character gets nerfed. And I'm sitting here like, bro, why are we not talking about system mechanics for the 15th millionth time? It's the system mechanics that are one of the main problems of this game. Some of these characters, yes, is an issue. We do agree with that. But a lot of times, you're like, what about Super Dash? We've been fucking dealing with Super Dash forever. We're not talking about nerfing that. We're not nerfing things that need to be nerfed. But you know what they do to us? Oh, you're not talking about that? Here's air guard cancel. Here, take that. Shut up.
They would never touch the system mechanic.
They're not gonna touch it. So it's like, but I feel like if we start crying, like they touched Bardock B when we cried about Bardock B for 2 weeks straight. If you cry about it long enough, the same way you're crying about these other characters getting nerfed, possibly something can change. Because I do remember when the game did get changed, as they took Snap out the game felt a lot faster compared to back then when we played back then. The game is way faster than.
You sure that wasn't? You sure that wasn't placebo?
I don't know, bro. It feels like if you go back and you boot up Season 1 Dragon Ball and you play this game, you'll tell the speed difference immediately.
Nah, that game was way slower. Animations took way longer.
Like, they changed the game. So in the sense of that, if they can do that, they can necessarily. I'm not gonna say system like Super Dash. We know that's most likely never gonna get changed. I was just making that an example. but it's just like that's just how I feel about it. A lot of people blame the characters and then be like, "Yo, bro, you're mashing on and you're minus here. Why the fuck are you mashing? Like, what are you doing? It's not your turn." And, oh my god, this character's so stupid. No, it's anti-reflect. You try to reflecting and it's anti-reflect string. So it's little things like that that the community has to get the knowledge for, but that separates the great players and the mid players.
So this ties back to the whole premises of like, how do people apply the knowledge of the game? Because there's players who are not great competitors, but they understand the game. They just don't know how to apply it.
See,
You know
that's
what
the
I mean?
thing. So you're talking about like tech monsters and shit.
Yeah, like they know so much about the game, they just don't know how to use it, how to apply. Kind of how
See,
we were saying
I feel
earlier.
like this is a common misconception. I feel like this is a very common misconception. And this just goes back to the debate of like who's the best with a character, right?
Character, yeah.
Like, who's the best Napa player? Like
I think
maybe
that's irrelevant.
Callie,
I am.
maybe
I knew you was
maybe
gonna out of
Callie
nowhere, I knew it.
is the best tournament Napa, you know? Like maybe he is the best tournament Napa, like he places the best. But then, you know, I don't even know any other Napa players, bro.
Silverblade?
Silverblades. Maybe Silverblades
Access?
is the smartest. Like he has all the tech, he has everything, XYZ down pack, all the resets, everything. But he doesn't do as well in tournaments. Can we say that he's the better Napa player?
You say he's the more knowledgeable Napa player, not the better.
He's the more knowledgeable one.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, Callie outplaces. Can we really say that this person with more knowledge actually has more knowledge? You know what I mean? Because like if your strategy is quote unquote the best, then why doesn't it win?
Well, because it's not strategy in that sense. That's just okay. Like for example, let's say we're both playing the same character, right? You might play better than me. You're a better player than me, right? You're doing these things, but I'm watching you play, and you're doing things that I know are negative. And I'm like, hey, listen, this is not negative. This is the fact of the character. I'm no more knowledge than you. However, you're the better player than me. So that's what I mean by that. Like, people can be the better player because I feel like that has nothing to do with the character as the player.
So then we're saying that the knowledge doesn't matter. Like the knowledge that the tech monsters have, like just doesn't matter because they're not as good at the game.
Exactly. That's exactly how.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think too. Like Sonic was the best base Vegeta, and Sonic did 5H loops for like 6 months straight while we were all doing these optimal as combos. Yes. But it didn't matter. So
he's better than you. So it's just like who cares? Like, you know, he's better than you, and since you know the tech,
can you really say that like you're the best base Vegeta when Sonic is doing 5H loops and still dancing on your forehead? Like, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
But does that just come to the player just overall better than you? He's just overall better. That player, specific whatever player it is, that player just better than you. Period.
Yeah.
Yep.
It could be whether they block more, so you get to see the character more on offense because they're able to defend better than you can. It could be simple things like that.
Yeah, it's just simply I'm better. Like I can know everything about basketball in the world, but when I shoot the basketball and I airball it, like, okay, you know everything, but you suck.
Yeah. Like so what? So like just because you know doesn't mean that you can do.
That's fair. That's fair.
Indeed.
So, is there a specific player that you have in mind that actually is like that? Who would be better off being a coach versus just being a player? You guys have anybody?
Yeah, you know what? Your instigate helmet is on.
No.
Go ahead and switch the Santa Claus hat off and go ahead and put your instigate helmet.
I actually do think that like fighting games need more coaches though.
Yeah, this is a real thing. I genuinely
feel like
real shit. Nah, because real shit. I definitely had a coach. Way back when, I was signed to an org when I think it was season 2.
Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it was Scorpius.
Oh, I remember. Yes.
Yeah, and they were paying for all my entrances and shit. And there was a coach on that org, Doc. Shout out my boy Doc. He ended up being turned into a really close friend. But when I first met him and shit, I'm like, yo, a coach for Dragon Ball for fighting games, and then Dragon Ball of all fighting games, like what? You know what I'm saying? But with Dragon Ball being my first fighting game, he opened up a lot of things to me that I would have never probably figured out on my own. Even though I was perceptive, like I understood I was losing and was trying to figure out, you know, what was wrong and what was going on. There's a lot of things I just wouldn't have been able to figure out on my own because of my limited knowledge. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So people with that more knowledge, if they used it in that way to coach more, to help people out more, you know, it would definitely
be an
help
overall benefit.
people become stronger.
Yeah, I like what Skeezer says here. Like he says, some people are better than you at DBFZ, but not fighting games. And I think that's valid. I do also truly believe, just overall, like you were saying, Callie, if more players decided to be more of a coach than being a player, I think the community overall just becomes stronger. For sure.
I actually spoke to at CEO this year. There's this dude. I think his name's like Frost or some shit. He's like a Valorant coach, and he was friends with my boy Bunch. But we were watching Street Fighter, and he was like breaking down like why, like he was asking why the fighting game scene doesn't have coaches, like because IDOM lost to somebody. I think it was. I forgot. Oh, wait, no. IDOM beat somebody. I think it was Mena, and then they were like, oh, but like, why doesn't Mena have a coach to break down what happened in that set versus IDOM? Because he's probably going to have to play IDOM again. Why is it all on him? Like, he has to deal with losing. He has to cope with the fact that he just lost and then get ready for his next set that's in like 10 minutes, all while breaking down what the fuck happened versus IDOM. And then he has to play versus like Kudo or some shit. I forgot like who it was. So it's like, why doesn't the scene have coaches that could just help people do that?
I think I know what the
Like
issue
I
is.
didn't have an answer. Like that's why from now on, like I always have Pret. Like if me and Pret are at a tournament, I'm like, bro, you're my coach, bro.
You know
That's
why
it.
that though? That's the case though, Kite? Because
Ego.
in this community, you can't. Okay, let's say for example, right? There was a coach at every event. Now it comes down to the player lowering their pride to be able to be coached. Not everybody can be coached. So the problem is that if they throw all these coaches at people and they're not listening to the coach, not only are you wasting your time, but you're now wasting somebody else's time. So
Well, hold
fighting
on.
game players in general have that main issue. So it's back to what we were saying about the egos and taking accountability and all that.
But to what Kite was saying though, right? Kite says when he goes to a tournament and him and Pred are there, he's saying, yo, whatever happens, if Pred wants to come up to me, talk to me, only allow him to come up to me, nobody else,
Right.
just Pred, right? And I don't know how true this is, Shade, that most events are preventing coaching. I don't know how true that is. I don't know.
That is
if
true.
that's-
Shade did coach me at Evo for one set.
But he said most events now prevent coaching. Is that true?
I don't think so. I mean, a CEO let me do it. Evo let me do
I
it.
definitely did it to Neo at Combo Breaker too.
And
Yeah,
it's
I don't-
let him
Definitely
do
walked up and talked to him real quick.
it.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Street matches. Every time I asked, they said no.
Well,
When I got top eight
you've helped
at
me out
NCT,
before too, though, Kite.
and
Like I
CEO
feel like
let me do it. So
it just you have to find that person for you, that right person for you, right? Because you helped me out a couple of times. I've asked you for some advice, and we sat down and we've interviewed. So it's like,
yeah.
Yeah. I just think overall, if players allow their egos, shut down their egos, they'll be better overall. I believe that wholeheartedly. If people just allow others to be in and actually help them, allow them to be helped, they'll be better players overall in the community.
Okay, gotta kill the
And
ego.
even
Take
if
mushrooms.
like even
Pride
if
is the devil.
events, even if events don't allow it, I feel like that just hurts players in general. Like
Hurts?
yeah, like if I'm going to a tournament solo dolo and then I get bodied alone, like but this is also why people create OSs because they can't accept the fact that they just got cooked. Like if someone is there to like talk through it and like understand what the fuck happened, like I feel like that's just
gotcha.
better. Like
Oh, I actually like this.
now I lose, I lose, I can't accept that I lost, I OS, I go home. I can't accept that I lost when I'm home. I don't watch the set because I can't accept that I lost, and then I do it at the next tournament over and over again.
How do you guys
But
feel
if
about
someone
this?
is there to help you, then like it's just different.
How do you guys feel about this? Lotus says in summary, like, how would you feel about if I beat you, Kite? Would you take advice from me, or would you rather take advice from somebody else? Like paraphrasing.
Talking
I just
about,
fucking
like-
lost to you, so like like that's another thing. That's actually another thing, Daniel. When I beat somebody and then they don't take the advice that I give them, that actually pisses me off because bro, I just beat you.
I see it. I see your flaws.
I literally
I
just
see
beat
it.
you. How
Yeah.
like
That player can give
I
you
just
more
won.
advice than your friend.
No.
I mean, it's real shit though.
It's real. It's real though. It is
Jazz-
real.
Like real shit. Jazz Rap used to beat me like 50-0, bro.
Like if
At a
Daniel
time. I
beats me in a
shit
set,
on-
which
I
would never
ask him all the
happen,
time
but
for
like
help.
if Daniel
What?
beat me, like You know what I mean? Like,
Kai just inhaled
and he
mad
tells me why
cock.
he beat me.
Yeah, I'm like,
He
yo,
tells
bro.
me why he beat me. Like, you know,
Yo, just sit
who
there
am I
like,
to say no?
nah,
No.
bro, that's not real. You didn't beat me like that. Like, okay, I just told you, and
But yeah, but
Right
I don't
here,
think I don't think I've actually. I truthfully don't think I've seen that happen before, where somebody would lose to someone and then take their advice right there. Like, yo, bro, you
No,
lost
but
because
you don't do it right there though,
You'll do
right?
it
Like,
right there.
that's
Though.
crazy,
You
bro.
tweet him in the back, DM him
I'm
an
taking
hour
advice from a
later.
nigga that just beat me, just
Yeah.
going up to me like, hey, you know what you did wrong? Like, nigga, get out of my face. What the fuck?
Yo,
No,
Kelly,
but
what
even
you eating, bro? That shit sound good as hell. I
Yeah,
Bro,
I got some
Skeezer, but
cabbage
that's
and
the
meat,
thing.
bro.
That's the thing. If I quote unquote random you out, like, that's your fault for letting it work. Like, if
Yeah.
I was just super dashing you randomly, that's your fault. Like, I would tell you, yeah, you can't 2H super dash. Like, I was just doing that shit to you like a fucking idiot, and I knew it would work because you couldn't stop it. So why do you need advice? You know why you lost? Well, I mean, that's different. Like, if
Everything
I
is
know why I
yeah.
lost, like, that's different.
It go like I it goes
But
back to the
if I
same thing,
cook your
Skeezer.
shit,
It's
if I
accountability, bro.
cook your shit undeniably, like, what are you to say that I got quote unquote
random out,
randomed
yeah.
out?
So-
that
so
goes
one-
back to the thing, like, the FGC has like this ideal style of play that is quote unquote clean, and that if you don't play within this particular mold, then you're playing random. Like,
But
that's
Kai, we
just-
go back to this, right? A lot of people think Double O is just completely random, but he actually has thought to his game plan, right? Like
Right.
when others just see Lex plays, they're like, yo, this guy is random. When they see Axe play, they say, yo, this guy is random. Dragon God, this guy is random. But in reality, they know what they're doing. They just view the game completely different, and it works for them. It works for Axe. It works for Lex. They understand the game at a different level compared to others. So to us, it's like, now what are you doing? But Lex is like,
yeah,
nah,
I, mean, he just
I
has
know
a
what I'm
different
doing.
Strategy. Like, he just looks at the game differently and just has a different strategy. Same with
But
Axe.
I also feel like with those players, you know how everybody was able to identify that type of play style you're referring to by those players. You can differentiate those players to the actual randoms though. You might think it's random, but I can play an actual random and then I can play double O, and I know that's not random. I know that.
Yeah.
But that's once again back to accountability again. As a player, you have to be accountable to be like, all right, I'm not getting out random. I'm getting shit on. Just be real. You're getting shit on. He's not out randoming you. You just don't have the knowledge that he has, and he's doing something completely out of your brain process right now.
But those same people refuse to accept the truth.
And that's why they will still be trash, and they will always be trash.
They refuse to
just it.
accept the truth that they're not being random out. They're just getting outplayed. They're actually outskilled.
Yeah, you're
where
getting
bad
outskilled,
bitches at, bro?
and you just gotta
Real shit.
hold that. You know.
Yeah, that's fair. But I do
Oh
think
my God.
even if that person who beats you in that tournament set, sure they shouldn't say right then and there like, yo, Kai, you should have done this better. But later on that night or whenever you hit them up, be like, yo, the reason why you lost to me is because blah 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 blah. I think that information would be better versus a friend of Kite saying, yo, Kite, or Pred, for example, saying, yo, Kite, you lost because of this. I think your opponent could give you better information than your friend.
Correct. You just have to be in the correct mental space, and you have to be willing enough and lowering your pride enough to take it. Pause. That's crazy. You have to be lowering enough.
You're spitting.
You got
What?
Bro, stop. You gotta be able to comprehend what they're saying, because even the greatest of the greatest, like Kobe and them, they have all these stories of them getting shit on and going back and be like, yo, what move did you do on me? Like, how did you do that? Can you teach me this? And then now they go back and shit on that same person that shit on them. So, not everyone gives you the best advice. You have to use discretion, and you have to know what is right for you and what's wrong with you. And maybe right now I don't need to talk to you. I need to talk to you a week from now. Or I don't need to talk to you at all. I need to talk to this player. You have to know that as a player yourself, I feel.
Thank you, Kill Crazy. Real quick.
I like what Lotus says. It comes with a level of experience and understanding. This doesn't just apply to like when you like I like to say I lost to Jabo and then he tells me XYZ, right? That doesn't only apply to that. It also applies to like, oh, if Jabo hits me up and then asks, oh, can you help me watch, like, can we review this set? Because this actually happened a lot back in like 2019 when I was like helping people in like Connecticut try to level up. They would ask me to watch sets with them, and then they would like skim through sets like really fast and be like, oh, I did this arbitrary thing that didn't really matter in the end, and this is why I lost. But it's like, no, there was like 3-4 things that led up to this that are the reason that you lost. So it's like you have to actually be able to like watch the game and like understand what's happening in the game.
You're saying it
aside
wasn't
from
that
just
specific. It wasn't that just one scenario why you lost. It was a multiple things that occurred
Yeah, it was like
prior
alright,
to
there
that
was a multitude
scenario.
of things that led up to this scenario that could have
Yeah.
been fixed and you could have avoided this.
Yeah, it's
Which
kind of
is
like when
scary.
people
But
have.
people don't see that.
It's kind of like when people have like those 3-1 leads and they still lose that game. Full characters and they have that full like, oh, this guy obviously won the game, and then they just take the foot off the pedal and they get
They
washed.
fold. Yeah, they fold.
They just
yeah.
they just fold. You know
Mhm.
what
That's perfect. Yeah.
what kind of advice can you give to that player then?
Well, I mean, you got to learn how to play to win, not to lose.
I mean,
Because when people get in those scenarios, they end up playing really pussy, and then they don't play to close the game out. They play to not lose the game.
Yeah, I do see that a lot in this. A lot of people when it's 3-1,
Like
they'll just go
perfect,
into
actually,
defense
perfect
for whatever
example of
reason.
this. Perfect example of this is when Hikari played Yasha.
Hmm.
Bro, Hikari had
yeah,
full team spark leads on Yasha, and then he just stopped pressing the gas, and he just played really passive and just let Yasha do whatever he wanted. And I'm like, bro, like, just close the game, just do it. And then Yasha made the comeback twice, and I'm like, bro, like,
is that Hikari
You can't-
choking or
like-
Yasha showing his greatness?
Both.
well, both, because like Yasha was able to make the comeback and take advantage of like the shift in playstyle that Hikari was showing. But then
You
it's
think-
like,
Yep,
all right,
Lotus.
Hikari,
That's exactly.
Hikari
Yep, Lotus.
can't- like there's a difference between like just going in mad hard when you have a lead and like trying to like it's hard because closing games is actually really hard because it's like, all right, I don't want to go in and overextend, but I don't want to let him just
Yeah.
pull
It's
up
like
on me and
you
run me
got
over
to
and
that
try to play really
point.
passive.
So
I
now
think
you're like
there
fighting
has
with
to be a
yourself,
middle ground.
basically. Yeah.
I think what ends up happening is, right, that whole game from 300 seconds on the clock, that whole start, you're playing a certain style, and then for some
Mhm.
reason, once you see that 3-1, you change your play style.
Yeah. I do.
mean, yeah,
I
because
do.
you have
I
the
do
lead,
that
you
as
don't-
well. As well. I have that
Mhm.
issue as well.
And I'm saying that change of play style. Once you see the next character come in, their last character comes in, you're like, oh wait, I have a 3-1 lead. I can't lose this. And then the way you're playing the game changes versus how you kept playing the way you were playing. That got to that point, you would probably win that set. You close it out. Versus saying, oh wait, I'm in the lead. Oh wait, hold on. Let me play more passive. And then that
That's
gets
what
you screwed
separates
over.
the best players, though. I feel because as you can see, like with the top players of this game, their adaptation is insane. You see them adapt to whatever situation they're in. If they're down, I've seen Nitro do it. I've seen Wawa do it. I've seen Goichi do it. I've seen them all do it in cases where it doesn't matter where they're in the game. It seems like they went in with a certain game plan, and even if their game plan shifted, they adapted to where they still won the game, and that's what separates you.
Yeah.
That's facts. And
You guys-
Trip brings up a good point. It's not that like they changed their play style, and that's fine. Like if I'm playing really aggressive and then I change my style to passive because I don't want to overextend and take unnecessary risk. But it's like, all right, but you can't play super stiff and get really nervous, and you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
as a result, because when Yasha starts making that comeback, it's like, all right, you change your play style to play passive, but you're already shaky, and then he starts making that comeback, and you're like, no, I can't lose. So
Yasha
then you
smells
end
the
up
fear.
playing,
He smells
you
the
can't-
fear.
Yeah,
He
it just builds up. It's like
Yasha's
you can't
an
play not
experienced
to
player.
lose.
He's an experienced player, so he knows that like, oh, he's never beaten me before. You can use this to he can use that to his advantage. Like, oh, he hasn't beaten me. I don't think he's gonna be able to close this out. You guys ever seen that one clip? I think it was Sonic versus Hook, and Sonic is playing Kid Buu, and he literally says, Sonic says, "Oh, you're not touching me again. You're not touching me again," and he makes the 3-1 comeback, or they make the 3-1 comeback.
Yep, I remember that clip. Season 1.
Mm.
Hey, at certain points, I'm sure as players, tell me if I'm projecting here, but I'm sure as players, you know that you're like, oh, this guy's actually not touching me again. Like, you feel like there's games where you're just like, oh yeah, you're not touching me again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you literally just feel it. I don't know what happens, but you kind of just go like, oh yeah, this guy's not
It's happened
touching me
to the
again.
Matrix.
I
You
I
feel
feel
it.
like,
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
figured
every time
it.
I play you, no cap.
Yo, me personally,
I feel that too, but it's at the beginning of the game, you know.
Okay.
Bro, this is your stream, bro. We on your stream. Don't let them talk to you like that.
Bro, I'm a content creator. Let me rock, gang.
Bro, nah, don't let them talk to you like that. They are guests on your stream, bro. So
I'm about to server deafen them real quick.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
But yeah, sometimes people get in your head and they just know. Like, you literally just know. Okay, yeah, Callie's not touching me. This guy's trash. It'd be like that. I gotta throw jabs at you too. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna lie. That's the mindset I have with every player, though. Even if you're better than me, like, bro, you're dog shit. You're not beating me right now, because that's gonna make me. I don't like losing, bro. I don't know about everybody else. I'm real with myself, bro. I do anything in my power not to lose, because I'm a person that I don't like losing. I really don't. So it's just like.
That's actually like that question from Skis. What is considered an experienced player?
Players that made it far in brackets like multiple times, so like they know how to deal with pressure.
So like, would you say that? Did you say that in one game though? Would you say that because I feel like, his question is a trick question in a sense, because you can be an experienced Dragon Ball player, but I'm a more experienced fighting game player because I played this type of game and I've done this and that.
You just played games longer than me, but like.
No, it's not that though.
So there's probably people that have played fighting games longer than I have, but haven't touched the stage as many times as I have. You know what I mean? Like,
nah. So like the reason why as a counter to that is that okay, you know how if you played more fighting games, that means you are experienced with more different mechanics, different type of characters, different type of stages, etc., etc. If you're going against a person with one play, like you're not more experienced than me in fighting games. You're just better than me at this game.
That's not a Dragon Ball thing though. Like I feel like niggas be just slandering Dragon Ball for no reason. That. Like
I agree.
What is the difference between a nigga only playing Dragon Ball and then not playing any other games versus a nigga only playing Street Fighter and then not playing any other games? And he's a Street Fighter nigga, right? If a nigga only play Guilty Gear in no other game, he's a Guilty Gear nigga. So like, I don't get why niggas there's always a disconnect when it comes to Dragon Ball. Like every fighting game has different mechanics, and I will say that Dragon Ball definitely has a lot of mechanics that are unique to Dragon Ball and aren't prone to a majority of other fighting games. There are still mechanics and what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but just things that you can gain from Dragon Ball that will help you in other fighting games, the same as any other game.
Yeah,
I feel like niggas really like that shit be blowing mine. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Motherfuckers just be slandering for no reason.
I don't think it's a slander though. I genuinely think that if
no, because you know when niggas be like, oh, that's a Dragon Ball nigga. You know niggas be saying that shit for animosity, bro.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're not
right. I feel like that happens with a lot of Marvel players too, bro.
They're delusional. Say it. They're delusional. Say it.
They are delusional.
But it's like, bro, like, there's a bunch of Marvel players that I've never seen play other games or like be good at other games. Like that's just. So am I just gonna say like you only play Marvel? Like
Marvel players are the worst.
You know what I mean? Like
that's what I would tell them to their face, bro. You only play one game, bro. Shut up.
Yeah, you only play one game. So like what? Like
it's just like when Nitro. You know when everybody's coming at Nitro saying Nitro's a Dragon Ball player. All those Strive players when Strive came out, and then Nitro goes and plays Strive and washes all of them.
Yeah. It's like top 16 at Evo.
It's like
literally
you can't say Nitro's a Dragon Ball player and then let him come to your game and
fuck you up. Yeah, that happens a lot. Actually, that's the funny part.
That's so.
I was talking to Skeezer about this. I was talking to Skeezer about this.
Nah, literally, bro. I was deadass talking to someone too, bro. Like a lot of these niggas that started with Dragon Ball have branched off to other games and are fucking niggas up. So I don't understand how niggas can
look at Enzim.
That shit with contest. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga came from my
Jonathan Tenney was a Dragon Ball player originally, and then he's now one of the best.
One of the best in
Strive players. Like
I hate
totally
that.
Different game too.
It's like when people say he's a Dragon Ball player, it has a negative connotation to it.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I think that's hella corny because I do believe that if you could be great in one game, if you apply yourself the same way you apply in Dragon Ball to another game, you could also be great.
You're him at that point. I think it takes away from the player's skill, and that's what the problem is. We base them off what they play and not their actual talent. Like
but Skis like that. But like all games have scrubby mechanics. Like V Trigger used to be mad scrubby. Mad characters in Marvel are mad scrubby characters. That like I've never seen a game where you get rewarded for losing. Like Phoenix gets 5 bars and then she wins the game.
I
after
agree with
losing
that
your whole
part
team.
too, though. I think that
Like, that's
Dragon Ball
scary.
is also one of the biggest selling games. So a lot of people's first fighting game was this game. So that's where a lot of the misconceptions and the confusion comes from. Because now that I think about it, I think it's like how many copies it sold? 8 million copies or whatever. And then it was like on top for like 3-4 years. Like on top. Like this is the game everybody's playing. And a lot of people came into this game, young, old, whatever age. So that's probably why Dragon Ball gets that big slack like that, because a lot of people just don't know, and they're just ignorant. And then Twitter is the
Fucking
worst.
dick, man.
Social media is just literally like, yeah, oh, he's a
Man.
favorite player, so let me go ahead and just say dick ride him for like 5 minutes, and then dick ride this player, and then do this, and then yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
mouth sack, bro. Shit is crazy.
I think overall when
Kelly's over.
Yo.
no, I understand, but I understand the
I'm glad you gave me
frustration.
this platforms to talk my shit because you feel me?
It's very frustrating though when you players be like, they probably say because they never played another fighting game. Kind of how Lotus was saying, a lot of people start off with Dragon Ball, so they don't have like that. Oh, they used to play this game, but just because I never played this game before Dragon Ball doesn't mean I can't learn that knowledge. I'm not incapable of learning. I can still learn the game. It's still possible. I can learn playing a different game can apply to Dragon Ball. Kind of how Callie was saying. I can play DNF and use things I learned in Dragon Ball and apply it to DNF and vice versa. Like there's things that you can apply to anime fighters. To it's just overall saying counting that player out, just saying he plays Dragon Ball. Okay, he's probably not good. That's just corny to me. That flat out is just corny.
That's super corny.
I will say you do get more experience from playing more fighting games, though. I'm not trying to knock.
It definitely helps, but
the more games you play,
it, you know what I'm saying? Like you definitely should expand and try and play as many fighting games as you can, if nothing else, than to get knowledge of the game you want to play. You know,
this is the thing about the experience thing, bro. Once again, I'm sure there are a lot of players that played mad fighting games that cannot fuck with me in this game, and then their OS is, man, this is Dragon Ball, and that's how it is with the fucking boomers that have played 6 generations of fighting games, and then they come into a fighting game, and then some new kid pulls up and they get bodied. It's oh the game is scrubby, this, that, and the third. That's all it is.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these old men gotta go, man.
Yeah, I feel like
these boomers, man.
You're just gonna get it out of them. Neither they're just gonna
so it's like what? So it's like, all right, you got experience, but what does your experience amount to?
You getting clapped. That's what your experience is.
But you do. like those older players that come from different generations, they can still be good. It's only certain players that are able to accept change. A lot of older players can't. Yeah, a lot of older players can't accept that change. That no, this new 13-year-old kid on the scene. Yeah, no, he's gonna beat you 100%.
He's going to do it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because he's 13. That don't matter.
He's going to do it. Yeah, he's going to do it. And
bro, it's like let's take Street Fighter for example, bro. There's so many Street Fighter boomers. So many Street Fighter boomers on Twitter talking about five is scrubby. We gotta go back to real fucking Street Fighter footsies, grounded footsies. And then Ending Walker goes to 16 years old, goes to his first major and wins it and doesn't even pop off like it was nothing to him. Meanwhile, these boomers can't do it. They haven't won a tournament since like 2010. Like, come on, bro. Like,
it's the acoustics.
I get for real. Your experience don't matter.
Now I would say, yeah. Do we also say that those? This is gonna be hot, but do we say that those old players are just not able to adapt?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
They're just not.
Okay, wait. It's not that they can't adapt. It's that they don't want to adapt. It's a mentality.
I mean, that's
no. Even if they're trying, because let's be real, they do play the game.
They do play the game.
They do play the game. Yeah, they do. They may not admit it, but they definitely do play the game.
So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know if y'all want to do it, but I need a name so I can know. I can kind of
Sanford Kelly.
Ooh.
Hey yo.
Shit.
Bro, I see him on Twitter all the time. I haven't anything like lately, but like I remember a few months ago, like he was just shit talking on all the 5 players. Talking about five doesn't reward what I want to do or why I can't play. Like my execution is what shines, but Street Fighter is such an easy game, or 5 is such an easy game. Like, bro, like, so what? If it's so easy, then why can't you do it?
Ooh.
I mean,
Like,
I
that's the
can't answer
thing. That's the
question
thing.
for
Like
him,
this is
I
why
love
I'm
Kai,
separate.
son.
This
I
is,
love
this is
Kai.
why this is
Real
why
nigga.
Daniel putting Chris G on his all-time list is facts.
Oos.
It's
Thank you.
facts because Chris G can win in any fighting game, no matter what.
Fact. It's a fact.
He
It's
goes
facts.
back and plays fucking like Third Strike or some shit or Street Fighter 2 and is still winning.
Chris G's a proven player. Chris G can play in
Proven.
any game and continue to improve overall no matter what.
Yes,
It doesn't
he
change.
can adapt to anything.
That's interesting.
Exactly, Skeezer. Flux is another one. Shits on Dragon Ball players, but I literally only have seen him play Marvel and like BlazBlue. Like that's it.
I definitely do be seeing him on Twitter sometimes, going a little crazy.
Dragon Ball has done irreparable damage to the FGC. Bro, play a new fighting game, please. I'm begging.
It's just I do think if you're nasty, you can apply, you can adapt.
You can just do it. Like
I truly believe that.
If you're really as good at fighting games as you think you are, you can just pick up the game and learn it. That's why Sonic Fox is great at games, because Sonic Fox knows how to learn the games.
Well, Sonic Fox also
And they have a
realizes
base
when
level
they're.
of
They also realize when they're about to start the end.
You scared the
Who is
fuck
that?
out of me.
You're-
Oh my god. Yo, how are you already that loud, bro? Yo,
Oh.
turn your volume down,
Bro's
bro.
talking from a can and a wire,
cap,
bro. What's
Yeah.
happening?
There's no way.
Let me put the gain down real quick so I don't smoke down. Let me,
Yeah, you're,
Oh
you're,
my
you're
God.
wait, hold on,
Oh
cool
my
six.
God.
You're actually really, really loud. Hold on.
Son, that scared the hell out. I think I got my camera not on because, yo,
Alright, let me
you would
tell
have
you
thought
the
somebody
truth.
broke in my house.
Sonic also know when to leave a game when they about to start losing. That's the other thing. Sometimes you gotta know when to cut and run, but we're not gonna talk about that.
I disagree.
You disagree?
But continue.
Yo.
I'll let you finish.
You dis- where's Sonic? Where's Sonic now when US need him?
No, we're not.
Don't play the game.
Sonic said, and I quote, at the end of One Birthday Bash, this will be the last time France wins anything ever again. I'm gonna come back.
Yeah, and then
Come back.
Sonic went to see Otaku, played the game for 5 minutes, and was like, "This shit is trash." So like, can you?
I mean,
blame
but
him?
Sonic
Can you
did
blame
go
him?
to Birthday Bash and with
But
like
then
3 days of
don't
practice
promise the
to
community
get second
you're
place.
gonna come back and defend them if you're not gonna do that.
Bro, you knew
I mean,
Sonic was
but it's
capping,
just
bro.
like
We
he's
know
already
this.
done it.
I have to know a nigga capping if a nigga on a stream with thousands of people is gonna say,
Bro, we know
I'm a
Sonic
Sonic.
is capping.
Saying
They
Sonic
don't
ran
care.
from
Crazy.
Dragon Ball is
They don't
OD.
play
for
fighting
me.
games like that.
It's
It's
OD.
crazy to say you gonna
OD.
save a community and be like, nah, I'm trolling. I got y'all. GG.
Yo, that is OD.
Just don't say that then. That's why I never say I'll save Dragon Ball from y'all niggas. Despite how bad all
Hey,
of
but
y'all are.
acoustics. Let's be real. Let's be real.
Acoustics.
If Sonic really played this game.
Wait, time out. One at a time.
That's OD. That is OD.
Listen, I was still the second best nigga in Atlanta when I came in, which is crazy.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what
Me
you're talking
personally, if
about.
I was from Atlanta,
What you're talking about.
crazy.
Because
Wait.
Yo.
I was there and I packed you up, and my other hitters weren't there. So you
Y'all
can't
niggas
say
was there?
that. You can't say that.
They fucking. I'm a salary man now.
No, boy, because if Senior and Jackson, you know you was getting 6-0, bro. The same way I did it to you, they doing to it too.
Is this what the pod has turned into?
Wait, time out. Wait, hold. Time out. Hey, let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's stay on the conversation. Nah, because
That's the homie.
Yeah, getting off track. So going back to the Chris G thing, how Kai was saying that Chris G deserves to be on the all-time list for the DBZ community, and going back to the conversation as to like certain players are just older players, how Kai said, how Sanford Kelly can't really adapt to new games. Like I want to go top to bottom. Pause.
All right, wait.
Like
can
Jabo,
I
what?
say something about that
Yo.
real quick? Can I say something about that real quick then?
Go ahead.
All right, so one of the reasons is I think especially this is really big in Dragon Ball and a lot of the younger and newer FGC competitors. Niggas are terribly scared of names, right?
Yeah.
I've seen some of the shit that Chris G plays in this game and some of the ways he has played. He's really good. He's really good. But y'all be letting him get away with like murder on some things. And I honestly think the same goes for a lot of other players that people face, where they immediately get scared
They lose to the name.
just because of the name.
Well, I mean, that's always been a thing.
That's a thing, but I think it's especially true for like the newer gen of FGC.
Yeah, no, that used to be a thing for me. Actually, that was a thing
I
for me.
don't know if
in
I agree with that. I
2019.
ain't gonna lie. I feel like
Here's my direct evidence.
I feel like that's a
To
thing.
this.
Everything.
Wait, hold on.
everything.
Let's go.
I
Let's.
think it's even worse.
It's definitely a thing.
This generation, because I've heard niggas accept defeat or be like, this nigga's my goat, or like I won't beat him, but it's gonna be a good set.
Bro, you guys,
so much from young.
You don't even need to look any further than New York City. How many times have I heard, oh, man, I got to play Nitro. I lost. Oh, man, Nitro's in that bracket. Oh, he won. This, that, and the third. Talking about Nitro like he's the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but then, you know,
like how many? Bro, I know you, Callie, and Daniel have all heard that.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wait, what was you gonna say, Callie?
what? I wasn't saying nothing. I'm listening.
No, you were saying you disagree.
Yeah, you definitely did say you disagree.
Yeah, you
Oh
said
no,
you disagree.
yeah, no, because I feel like
Mhm.
no, I just feel I feel like I feel like that's something that has been a thing, and I do not see how it could be. I mean, but the thing is, I'm disagreeing, but I can't speak from a place of experience because I don't know what it was like, you know, for other FGs back in the day or whatever. I don't know if y'all can help me with that, but I feel like it just doesn't seem like it would be a thing that would be like strictly draggable on newer players. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's just
I
something
don't
that.
think it's just a thing for our generation, but I think it's worse, especially with the way social media goes.
Okay.
I absolutely think
Yeah,
Twitter,
social media made it worse.
I think social media nowadays has made it worse. I think it was definitely a thing back then, but it's
just
way
got
worse now.
amplified like crazy because of social media. Correct. I agree with that. Actually, I do agree with that.
I don't know.
Social media
it's
it's a two-edged sword, basically.
Well, hear me out. So the way I view like the whole social media concept, I actually think it's just a pro overall because the fact that I'm able to see all of Nitro's matches at disposal whenever I want, I actually should be in the advantage. If I'm a no name, I'm more than likely in the advantage because I get to study him, whether he can't study me because there's not many matches of me on screen, on Twitch or whatever, on YouTube. So that player can actually theoretically just study Nitro and understand their habits.
But that could also be your downfall too.
Studying their habits?
You study somebody's habits, so you go into the game with the mindset of like, oh, I have your habits, I have this and that. When they adapt to you, trying to adapt to them, now what?
But that's how you go into the layers, right? Like the same thing for scouting reports in the games. You have to understand, okay, this player likes to do this, but when you shut this down, they start doing this.
Nah, you're gonna lose in that sense, in my opinion. I feel like the best fighting game players are the ones that can adapt on the fly, not going into their like, oh, I got your game plan, I have this as
I think that they can, but I don't think it's necessarily bad to have a game plan. Like, there's nothing wrong with. I get what you're saying, but the thing is, even if they adapt to you knowing their game plan, you can still at least win a scenario or two and get the advantage for a tournament set. You know what I mean? If you study them, if you study a set or two for them and you've learned a few of their habits, if they don't know you know their habits and you go in there and you punish them for their habits, okay, they have to adapt. But at least you can win a scenario or two before that happens in the best of scenarios, you know?
Couldn't necessarily mess you up in the long run too, though?
No, but at the end of the day,
really.
y'all are gonna adapt to each other anyway, right? Like what you're saying is going to happen regardless. But you can get the jump ahead of them by winning that first layer, by understanding how they're gonna play on that first layer. You know what I'm saying?
Slight advantage, basically. Put yourself in a slight advantage.
I played Coach Steve at
Evo. Go
I
ahead.
played Coach Steve at Evo, and I asked Shade this. Shade is my witness. I asked Shade, yo, practice with me, like doing blocking against Bardock, because I know Steve loves doing gut punch a million times. So I know if I can reflect one gut punch, I can just delete his character because I get a medium punish. And I only need to do that one time to delete the character. And I did it the one time that I needed to do it, and I won the set.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to do it a million times. You know what I mean? I don't need to have every single
scenario
line that it could possibly be played. Like, it's like, all right, I know that this player likes to do this. If I can punish them for doing this one time, I just kill their character and I get a lead.
So then I have the follow-up question, right? Like, let's say, J-Bo, I do my scouting report, and I understand. Let's say I have to play against you, J-Bo, and I study all your habits and understand, right? And even though you're the better player, you don't have any footage on me. There's no footage on me online or anything, okay?
Right.
So I come into that match with the upper hand because you don't know that I know. So if I could get that first game on you in the first to two setting, if I could get that first game on you, now you have to adapt to me.
Mm-hmm. And then you have my habits already, so you already know. Like, now, if I go back to the habit, it goes back to layer one. Okay, I see
Exactly.
what you're saying now. I see what you're saying now.
So it becomes an even harder game for
Yeah,
that
that's what you're
Nitro.
saying.
For example, that Nitro person, that top tier player, it's like, oh wait, I lost game one. Now Nitro has to prove his greatness. Now J-Bo, you have to prove your greatness. You have to be like, wait, hold on. Daniel got game one.
Yeah, so basically it's like you studied me to a point where you're in an advantage, and now I have to show you that I'm the superior player because now that I know you have the advantage and I've seen these things. Now it's basically that's when that next level. I see. I agree now.
Yeah.
I see. That's a great perspective to put.
So I would even say I think most of us, going back to like one of the first conversations we were having at the beginning, is players have to review their footage overall, and just see their habits, their mistakes, and study their habits of their opponents as well, and they'll be better players overall, for sure.
Most players aren't able to do that nowadays.
What'd you say, Kusix?
They are not able to do that.
Most players don't do that nowadays, though.
Yeah, a lot of people don't do that.
Is
They don't watch
that they don't want to get better, or they're lazy? What does it come down to?
They're lazy. Most players
Lazy.
nowadays are lazy. Back when I used to actually play like competitive For Honor, I used to spend hours going behind like replays of whatever I did. So I would be aware of my own habits. If you're aware of your own habits, you entirely remove that first layer. Because if you can control your own habits going into a match, you're automatically the better player. That's like the most dangerous
Control yourself. You win.
The most dangerous players are niggas who can switch between playing intelligent and just being an 8. Because those could be two entirely different players at any time.
You can't really tell. Okay.
If you can switch that on and off, that puts you in a great position.
Yes, I agree. Especially, I agree.
That's why Sonic is so good, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna
really
say.
good at that. Yeah.
Sonic will one time mash on you, and then the other time this nigga will sit there and block.
What was that? What tournament was it when they were playing? I forgot who they were. And Sonic mashed on Vanished.
Oh, that was Summit versus Kazunoko.
Was this okay?
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Why would you mash there?" But Sonic knew. Sometimes you just know when to do certain
right,
actions.
That's what you're saying, yeah.
I think funny enough, going back to that example, I think it was actually against Coach, and like I said, we did like a year ago or some shit. I don't know. We had like mad sets back and forth. But like whenever he did Bardock like gut punch, there are times I respected, and I would just mash on it the other times. Like I'd be like, I know you want to gut punch me because that's like your main offense with that character. And then sometimes I'll just mash, and then sometimes I won't.
Do we give credit to players like Pred? Pred just knows when to mash on his opponents.
Bro, I always
He's
ask
like
Pred.
that.
I always ask Pred, like, bro, because the thing with Pred is that I think he currently has like the best defense. Like you can't
active defense. I'll say
Dragon Rush him.
Active defense. I don't say passive defense. I don't think passive defense he has it. But active defense.
No, but like he knows how to mash too. Like he has really good active defense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he has great active defense. Passive defense, if you had
that's
put him in a situation where I don't think his passive defense is that good. But actively, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, like in this version of the game, this version rewards active defense. Like it's not like this, and I think this is why when we watch Goichi play now, it's different because back in the day, our offense wasn't as good and characters didn't have like 1,000,001 ways to hit you. So he had really good passive defense, and he was just able to block everything until he was allowed to escape. But you can't do that now because Gogeta's doing jab, run up jab, 2H, 50-50 instantly. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's
you have to be active. It's kind of hype because then I TOD you, but like, but you have to play active now. And I think Pred is really good at that.
Listen, I tell anyone can make Goichi now spark within the first 30 seconds of the game.
That's what
All you have to be able to do is land a 2H with Gogeta while he blocks and call an assist. And I promise you, this nigga Goichi will spark.
I mean, he was sparking back then too. Fucking Base Vegeta would do rocket kick plus Kid Buu, and he was definitely mashing level 3 every time. Every time.
Wait, came a long way, man. We've been here for so much.
I want to know for you guys here, right? Del says, would you watch the replays and analyze the games when you know you play like absolute dog?
Of course.
It depends. Yes. Like some sets, like I can tell, like as I play them, I'm like, damn, I fucked up here, and it's like, all right, I know. But if it's like a close set that I lost, it's like, all right, there has to be something that led to this being extremely close that I could fix. But if I get bodied, then it's like, all right, I know.
I think if you get the dog shit beat out of you, absolutely you should be
Better
going
watch
for
that
this
shit.
thing.
Yeah, you better watch that.
You need to watch it, right? Well, back again in like the major days of me competing for Honor, I used to actually keep a notebook for sets, and I would keep track of every situation that got me hit, and I would ask myself, what was I thinking at that time, and why did I do it? I used to do it for Dragon Ball too, but then I kind of just got tired because there's a lot of getting hit.
I don't know if you guys remember
If you're getting completely fried, like you have to, bro.
I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah, you kinda
maybe,
have to, yeah.
maybe the people that only been to the house probably know this or ever seen them play in person. Okay, will always have notes on his phone, on a book or something, and will study those notes prior to the match. So if I'm playing Vidal, he'll go through his phone, look at Vidal. Oh, Vidal has 2-2H. Okay, it's like a quick. Oh, remember this? Yeah, quick reminder. Like, he's playing one of these characters. Okay, keep that in mind. I don't really see players doing those kind of things anymore. Having little notes on the side. They kind of just look at the character screen and be like, you're playing hit? You know, they do one of those head tilts. But they don't really look at their phone and be like, oh, wait, yeah, when hit does this, I can do this. I don't see
it's back
those
to what
happening.
It's back to what Kite and Acoustic says, laziness. That's you being a lazy person. Why would I spend all this money to go somewhere and not be the most prepared I can possibly be? Have every matchup down, have everything down, so whatever pops up with my opponent, I'm prepared. So at that point, you're being lazy.
There are probably a lot more talented players than me, but when I go to tournaments, I make sure that I'm prepared. I don't. The one time that I went to a tournament unprepared, I got bodied, and I was like, I will never do this ever again.
When you say unprepared, wait. When you say unprepared, Kai, what is unprepared to you?
Well, one, I know who I'm playing beforehand because brackets come out. So one, I look at my path and I'm like, all right. I look at notable players. I'm like, all right, I got Nitro on my path. All right, I'll watch a set or two. I got I did this for Counter Rigger. I had Jill on my path. I'm like, all right, I know Jill is a fucking maniac. This, that, and the third. So I come up with a plan for when I play. I come up with like a rough game plan for when I play Jilla. All right, whatever. It didn't end up working because I got mashed on, but whatever. But that shit was crazy, bro. That's when I realized how to play the game. At Counter Rigger, I was like, damn, whatever.
But it can happen. One match can throw off the whole game. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what happened. Last hit, he ended up mashing it. I didn't stop it, and I lost. Like this is what it is.
And to be real,
I have to I have to be in practice. Like I'm not gonna go to a tournament in practice and then be mad that I lost. Like, bro, you didn't practice. Like,
I don't give that OS to players when they go to a tournament and say, "Oh, I didn't play this game in 2 months, in 2 weeks." That's your fault.
Like
that's actually your fault.
Stupid. Yeah, he's stupid.
Nigga says stupid.
Because the reality is, if you think about it, compared to back in the day till now, you have dust loops, you have YouTube, you have like it's everywhere, bro.
Yeah, there's actually no reason for players to be unprepared.
Were you about to say TikTok?
It's on TikTok, bro.
Yeah,
It's on TikTok, bro.
And one thing I'll say,
it's on TikTok, bro. Community. There's a community for all the fighting games on TikTok, actually.
Bro, it's on there. Like it's there in your phone. Like you don't even have to. You could be on the plane studying. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your fault if you're not taking full advantage of what you have. A lot of players back in the day did not have what we have now. So
and the last thing, Daniel, the last thing is that characters that I know people don't play, I make sure that I'm like refreshed on those matchups. Like, all right, I know people don't play Majin Buu, so I'm like, all right, if I find a random Majin Buu player like in tournament, I need to know what to do. So I ask Pumper Jam to play. Oh, I know I get got by Videl, so it's like, all right, I'll play Mizi for a little bit just to refresh. I know people play hit. We don't have any hit players, so I have to just go and trade him.
Bro,
oh my god!
Yo, if you're watching this, slap all these niggas, bro. Don't let them disrespect you like that, bro.
If you have a hit,
you're not slap me. You can slap them, but you ain't slap me. You know, yeah, me.
Actually, speaking of hit, by the way, I played Neo yesterday, and he actually started implementing some of the Wade stuff in the OB stuff, and I'm proud of him. Finally. He started doing it. He started doing the cancels and shit. I'm like, yes.
Would not let a nigga talk to me like this.
He's on the way.
Oh my god.
But okay, but there's also things, right? Because I'm sure a lot of players do it often, where they, like you say, Kai, they'll refresh their knowledge on that character, like Majin Buu, Videl, whatever. But they do it at one time, and then don't do it again. They just be like, okay,
That's their fault. It's so
A
dumb.
better way to do that, honestly, just learn every character in the game. Fighters does not have a very complex cast in comparison to other fighting games. Like,
Steve, but also I don't try every character.
No. If I told you to learn every character in Central Fiction, I would absolutely 100% be trolling you. You should slap the shit out of me. If I told you just learn everyone in Fighters, to be honest, you could do it.
You can do it in
See,
2
but
weeks, bro. A week and a half.
See, yes, but also like I don't need to learn every single character in Fighters because like I'm not scared of like Goku Black or like SJ Goku.
that's what
Like a bunch of characters do the same thing, so I don't need to learn all of
What happened
them.
at Demonic Gate?
oh my god.
Bruh, I got Ginyu. What do you mean? Where's X? I got my shit cooked by Ginyu.
My
It's
God.
happening. It's
Not
happening. It's
no Goku.
happening.
This Discord chat is
I got
yo,
Ginyu.
it's
That guy
scary.
was-
Imagine if you knew every single character in the game.
It wouldn't matter. He's still gonna cook my shit with Ginyu. That character's cheap as fuck.
If you think you not having the knowledge of the character wouldn't help you in getting cooked, I can't help you in that situation.
Well, I
Right.
matchup knowledge, of course, but like there's certain shit that characters do that you just can't avoid. Like, so what happens when I do run up 2H on you, Acoustics? What are you gonna do? 2H plus assist. With
I gotta hope
Gogeta.
that.
What happens? What happens?
Wait, tell me.
You gotta hold it?
But Kai,
Exactly.
But Kai, to what you were saying earlier, that comes down to your fault at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
it's
I mean,
different.
yeah, it is my fault.
Yeah, there's things.
Raw and Fighters.
I got my shit
clearly-
mixed. There was something that happened before.
Yeah, there's something that happened before that allowed the sequence to then occur, which is basically just comes down to being your fault because you let your opponent run up 2H.
But it wasn't specific character matchup knowledge. It was
No,
like,
that's
I got
just-
clipped by beam. I got clipped by beam assist. Or
And,
like
and
he
you
called
admitted
this
it
assist and
though,
I
Kai.
didn't
You
avoid
said
it.
that too.
like-
You said it. You was like, yeah, it's my fault. I lost a set. I was like, all that matters. It came down to it. A lot of people got to take that. Like what he did, you have to do that. I lost. I
And
wasn't
I would
prepared
say-
for it. I lost. It is what it is.
Matchup knowledge doesn't help that much with Ginyu. How many of y'all know the exact timings of the reflect between the Ginyu Raccoon call and if he does
I do.
IADJH?
I do.
I feel like you kind of have to know
That
that. You're gonna
shit
get
didn't
fucked up.
Wait, say that again.
That's
What
one
is
of those
it?
things that don't matter.
The automatic reflect timing between a Raccoon beam call and Axe doing IADJH.
Oh,
Yeah, when he does like Goldo, Raccoon, and then air dashes, you can reflect.
I actually
I'll
have a.
back.
Let me see.
So
if I
like
can
certain
find it.
small things like that don't
That's
entirely
literally,
matter.
that's literally the setup.
I have
he
a
goes
clip.
for every
I
single
have a
time.
clip right here. I have a clip right here.
Yeah. That is true. He does go for that's like the layer one
Yeah,
game.
that shit was
Wait,
crazy. I
like,
seen
when
this
he
clip.
body swaps your shit, but it's like, bro,
This is mixed.
how did you have this shit ready?
This happened though. It happened with Hakai and Kane. It literally happened.
That shit though. That shit was grimy.
Oh, this is mixed.
this one was cheap as fuck.
That shit's grimy, bro.
If he had down tech and reflected instead, he actually would have avoided the crossover.
Bro, in the moment though, bro, you're
But
god.
that's-
If he did that, I'd be like, you're god.
Nah.
You're god.
Nothing against Ginyu. Why are you uptaking
That's
against Ginyu?
mixed.
Is the first word.
That's the
Yeah,
thing
that's
though.
also
If
true.
you
Why did
know,
take against Gideon?
if
That's
you
true.
know, if
Yeah.
you know that's one of those scenarios. Like if you study your opponent beforehand and you go into the game knowing that he would have lived, 100% would have lived. But because he
He played
didn't know that
really
information, because he didn't know that information, he got black. He got body.
I'm mixed.
He got black. He got black.
I mean, he did get though because when you die, you see the black. You know what I'm saying? You don't see nothing. So he did get black in a sense. He did get black. Gogeta not alive no more. He's a black silhouette now.
Unless,
Oh, interesting. I thought you were-
this is mixed.
I do
Yeah,
think,
that
I
was-
do think that,
that was pure
it
mix.
can only help you knowing all the characters. Like, there's no harm.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
that it goes back to the thing that we were saying earlier. Like, knowledge doesn't entirely matter if you can't do it, but like,
I got a call.
I want to be able to do it, so I must know.
Still
it
gotta
so
have
I
that
can do
knowledge,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to even saying this, right? The players of today, the players of today should be better than the players from yesterday. Because there's so much accessibility, there's so much content out there, there's so much information on so many characters that the players from today, even if it's terrible quality, there's footage there. There's so much footage, just tournament matches in general. There's so much footage that you can just see, like, yo, I want to find out what Goku Black can do. You can figure it out. You can watch a video, watch Axize, whoever, playing Goku Black, and you be like, oh, okay. Versus back then when the game first came out, it's like, oh, I don't know what this character does.
Channel in the chat. That's crazy.
There's not much that you can do. Yeah, you're funny as hell. But yeah.
My bad.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
You can see my channel, by the way.
It's my own channel for that.
Hey, look, see, we do have TikTok. I've been posting some TikTok, so I'm a
Bro, Daniel
TikToker
be in my
now.
For You page, bro.
That's what I'm saying. We out here.
There was only ass cheeks in my For You page.
Yeah.
That's so real. That's so real,
That's
bro.
a real.
I'll be honest. If I ever see one of y'all niggas in my For You page, I'm gonna be tight. I better never see any of y'all niggas in my For You page.
Yo.
But no, how do you guys feel about that overall, though? Do you guys agree that the players of today should be better than the players from yesterday?
Oh yeah, for
think so.
Definitely.
It's way easier.
Definitely. It's way
access
easier.
knowledge.
I don't
So
think
was
so.
there even a hitbox back then, bro?
Wait, hold on.
Not
You say
even
you
the
disagree?
equipment itself is there.
You say you disagree, Acoustics?
Yeah, I actually disagree. I think players of back then were forced to be a bit more innovative, simply because there was a lack of knowledge, right? You don't praise someone for discovering fire after everyone's already shared the tech. But back then, you were forced to discover that shit constantly.
Nah,
Players
Acoustics.
back then had to figure out fucked up shit in the middle of a set, because a nigga would just pull that shit out on you, and you would have never seen that shit.
Okay,
See, this is
so
the
I have
thing,
to
like-
counter for you though, because the amount of players is
Go ahead.
significantly different from the amount of players you were playing back then. It's way higher now. So yeah, you're gonna find that tech and everything, but now you're playing against Billy, Bob, Mandy, and all of them over there now, compared
Bro,
to maybe back
Here's
then.
my counter on that.
There's some
We
back then.
we don't have the exact numbers to prove that you're playing more people nowadays than you were back then.
Do you honestly think there's more fighting game players back than there is now, though? Like,
low key, like outside of online, I think offline, especially in New York, we probably had more players back then than we do now.
Yeah, but
But the quality of
goes
players
back to, like,
now are
moving out of
better.
you move out, like we've moved out of the arcades, like
You
everything.
had to put a
is
quarter
on
in the
console.
system.
I don't
back
even
then.
agree with. I feel like because I know like it was definitely very compact, especially during like the Chinatown arcade days and shit. Like I know that much, but like the accessibility
Crazy.
right now compared to back then, like you had to travel out to that one arcade that was only open from a certain time to a certain time, and then you had to wait behind a whole fucking room full of niggas.
Yep, and
to try to get a
dumb
spot, you know what I'm saying?
niggas wanted it more than us.
No, but I'm just talking about quantity right now, as compared to.
And quantity, think of all the old heads we probably lost because they, like you guys said, they don't adapt or they just don't fuck with the new game.
But
But
there's still
also
more now.
going back to like
Go ahead.
going back to like the innovation thing, I feel like that's just cap, because like think about how much whack shit that people had in the pocket that never actually like was shown to be whack because the games didn't get solved as fast. So like there was probably so much more gimmicks that people were doing that actually worked because this dude did random shit on me that I didn't know about, and he took my character for it. Games get solved so much faster now because the whack shit just gets filtered out.
But then I have to ask a question. Do you think a game being solved automatically just brings up the skill levels for the other players? Because in a way, aren't you just shortening the gap between the ceiling of the game and the floor of it?
Well, I mean, but wait, so you're asking, does solving
asking,
the game hurt?
Does solving a game quicker than back then hurt a game now?
We could take season 2. We could take season 2 as an example.
Well, I mean, but the games will almost always be solved. It's just that games now don't have as much depth as they used to.
So games now don't have as much depth as they used to. I mean,
but those games also
Yeah,
don't
so
have
I think
access to the stuff that we have now.
I think we're confusing the argument.
So you can't.
Yeah,
conflate
I
the two.
think we were just talking about straight quantity of people.
Yeah, the people.
Oh no,
yeah.
I wasn't
People
talking about. I was talking about like
Kai was going back to something you were saying earlier.
about
before we
the
started
city you were saying
talking
about
it.
like how you had to be creative back then. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
You
no.
did have to be creative,
The innovation.
but you have to be creative now because games get solved so much faster. So it's like, all right, we know what.
You could go on Twitter
We know
or
what
Discord and
works.
show a tag, and you do not have to be creative. Because there's literally someone with a following of like 50 people who has probably solved the situation before you have.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
true.
but that,
Wait,
but that
that's
in turn
actually- that's
pushes the
actually
game.
true.
That pushes the game forward.
That pushes the game so forward, but then if there's no depth to these games now, how forward can it be pushed?
Oh, I mean, Dragon Ball got pushed pretty
Yeah.
far.
I say, Dragon, we still here.
The game still hasn't been solved.
We still here with a cast of about 7, but you know.
I think I will say that Dragon Ball does get a lot of slack for being like a baby game, and it definitely does have its stupid ass mechanics. But niggas are definitely still finding tech for this game 4 years later.
Bro, people
You cannot say
still
that
are
about
put
a lot
onto
of
Adult
games.
Gohan.
Yeah,
We still have Kasuga saying hit carries you and that 18 is bad. And we have people gamer flow saying just outplay Adult Gohan DP in level 7. Like, come on.
Just
bro.
jump over.
Still isn't solved. There's so much shit that this game still can do.
Lit. I don't care what you say, bro.
Like, come on, bro.
Like, Kusix, you better get bodied, bro.
Yeah, because I'm like, what you been over?
Yo,
Like,
this
what's
is
up?
crazy, bro.
You been having a good time tonight, brother.
Nah, I'm gonna mute Kusix. I'm gonna mute Kusix. Yeah, I'm gonna mute. Alright.
He's
Kusix,
on a mission over there.
Kusix, when you get back, type in the chat, Kusix, because your back is going crazy.
Mission over there.
But okay, so yeah. Going back to what we were saying, Kite, or was it Callie speaking? Sorry.
That was me. What was I saying? I was saying that like the game gets pushed because like sharing information is just so much easier, and Dragon Ball is a clear case of that. Where like, bro, the game still hasn't been solved.
Were we close to
I used
solving
to
the
think
game?
the game was
2?
solved with fusions, but then like, there's whole other lanes that this game has.
I don't
taken.
think we were close to solving the game in season 2.
The only time this game got solved was season 2.
No, season 2, the game was definitely solved. Like it was literally
because Snap
formulaic,
like
bro.
Snap was like the
towards the end,
formula,
yeah.
bro. And Don't Go on to Team Go On just deleted you.
You knew
And
it
then
was
niggas
like,
found,
bro,
and then
you
niggas
just
found the
did it.
Uni Fuzzy, bro. It was done.
Oh yeah,
It
well, I
was
remember that.
literally
Oh, I remember
a
that.
singular
Oh,
game plan for almost every single team. Like
Now-
the game was literally just as it was in season 2.
So yeah, season 3 with UI and Baby and Roshi was the greatest version of the game because there was that game was actually just endless.
yeah, it was. It was so much.
There was just so much shit that you could do.
Is-
Like there's
I can't.
Question. Is a game being solved bad?
No.
not necessarily because Marvel 3 is kind of solved. With,
Kinda
Zero May Cry and,
solved and
Morgan
solved
stuff
is
like that.
different. I'm talking about 100% completion.
Oh, you mean like DNF? You mean like DNF?
Like DNF, you mean?
You mean like DNF? Then yeah,
So, like-
in the sense of that, yeah. Because isn't
Yeah.
DNF like basically solved? Like,
Yeah,
Nothing else.
yeah,
Yeah,
more or
so
less,
yeah,
it's pretty much solved. Yeah.
yeah.
So is that bad? Does it hurt the game?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It does. I think once your game is like 100% solved, there's no more you can do with it.
Oh yes,
You definitely
Strive
lose a lot of
was sold
identity.
at one point. The release version of Strive was sold. That yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the game does get.
Yeah,
it,
that's
for
true.
sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right in our faces too. That's the crazy part. Literally.
But
That's
look,
also why
last 2
patch
years.
culture is so important, and a lot of people will knock how much people want
Complaining about patches.
you'll
and want
complain
patches.
and
Yeah.
it's both because a lot of people will ask for regular updates of a game and a lot of people will drag it, but if your game lasts to a point where it's just getting solved,
Mhm.
then you lose a lot of that creativity and you're just playing whatever version of the game is the best game. You know what I mean?
I think
what
it
about-
should be like
You know,
a certain
it
level of
also-
solved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's also shows a good game. You know what I mean? Because depending on how solid your foundation of your game is, no matter how much it gets solved, people are still gonna want to play it. Even at
Well, I
its
mean,
most
yeah, but that's
solved, like people are still gonna want to play the game. You
It's
know
like
what
a
I mean?
timeless game, like
It gotta be like
Yeah.
an endless. Like it gotta be solved in a case
like
that is
all right,
open ended.
Marvel isn't solved. It's just really optimized. Like people.
Right.
like,
Yeah.
figured out,
Yeah.
like,
That's the
fair.
best way.
That's
Yeah.
Silver
Optimized.
is
Yeah.
a great example. Blaze Blue Central
Marvel
Fiction is a
is-
solved
is
game. That game
endless.
came out like 10 years ago. That game is solved. But that game is extremely fucking fun to just pick up and play and
Right.
learn. You know what I'm saying? Even knowing who's the best and what game plan is the best and etc. etc.
See, but
Because that
this
game
is-
has such a strong foundation and such a great character diversity.
Right.
So
So,
peep this,
it speaks
Callie.
on the game, how the game is made.
Peep
Gotcha.
this.
Yeah.
This is what I mean by games having like depth to them. So even though games could be solved, like we know what's good, or like Marvel's like really optimized, so like Zero May Cry and all the Morgan shit is ridiculous, and Phoenix or shit like that. But the games still give you like the game's mechanics are still good enough, and they're deep enough to the point where like, all right, we can use these to fight back, or like how like you could use movement to evade certain situations. Where like the game gives you tools to fight against shit. So it's not like, oh, pick soul strive, very good, press forward slash. Like you can't fight back.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But
Yeah,
even
I mean,
when
the game is still solved at that point, though. No, it's just
but
go ahead.
but there's nothing you could do about it. Like, all right, so say maybe CF is solved, but like, are we just gonna say that you can't fight back against top tiers?
I feel like I'm reading the chat and I agree with Trip. I think we're just using the wrong word here because I feel like we're saying the same thing, but I feel like just saying the word solved is.
I think optimized should be the best. I think that's the word.
So even when the game, okay, so let's say when the game is optimized, quote unquote, right? There's still characters that are not fully pushed. The system mechanics may be optimized, but the game isn't solved. Like someone brought up Majin Buu, for example. Like Majin Buu is one of those characters that literally 2 people in the whole world probably play that character, right?
Yeah,
and that character's not pushed to the limits. Like that character can actually be pushed even further. Like Cooler, for example, right? Like let's say we figure out the Cooler tech years ago, and even the Cooler tech, I think somebody mentioned that Kaiden was doing it for a long time ago. If it was mainstream and people were doing it before then, that would have affected how the game would have progressed overall.
See, but this is why games like become solved or optimized, whatever word you want to use. It's like, all right, take season 2 of Dragon Ball, for example. That game, we definitely figured the game out. Like there was very little like room for exploration because like if your character didn't have Unifuzzy or Snap Mix, like you were just done. So or like your character, like it was just way too hard because everyone was snapping and shit. So like so naturally the characters that can't do the adult Gohan, Bardock, Teen Gohan, Unifuzzy will just fall to the bottom of the tier list because strategy has been optimized so far where it's like you're just doing snap mix.
You're saying it's natural. Like naturally, they're gonna fall down.
Yeah, like naturally, the characters that can't do what the optimized version of the game calls for are just gonna fall to the bottom of the tier list, and they're not gonna get explored because so what? They can't do what the game wants to do, or like what the meta in the. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Okay.
So like characters like Majin Buu, like they're not deleting you off of every touch.
So even if the character is solved, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't matter. Even if they're not pushed, if they're solved, it won't matter because they can't do what
the Bardock was able to do at the time. Okay, that's fair. I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
It's always gonna be a meta. You know, the strongest, the best games, the most fun games, the games that are continue to play no matter how solved they become or how optimized they get are the ones where the meta is refreshing, where I can pick a decent variety of characters and still be able to compete. You know, it may be harder, it may not be as easy, but it's doable. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Yeah, impossible. It's like all right. So maybe season 3 Dragon Ball was a very optimized game because obviously you had like Kid Buu UI and like Piccolo, Base Vegeta, Broly, stuff like that. But like those were super teams, but we still picked other shit that could fight it. Like there was obviously like actually Gotenks and Roshi were broken, but
do you guys
there was
see
other shit outside of those 3 like broken ass teams?
Do you guys see what M3D puts in the chat? Right, he says, question for the whole call: to what extent do you actually think top tiers carry? Like we said, they make the game easy, but to what extent compared to the past top tiers?
Here's the thing: when people say top tiers carry, I need you guys to realize that every character carries you in some way or another, even if they're trash.
I don't know, man.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Some characters. Look at my reasoning. Look at my thought process. Every character has something that carries you in a certain way. So, for example, name a trash character in Dragon Ball.
SSJ Vegeta.
SSJ Vegeta.
Super Saiyan Vegeta deals with Super Dash a lot better than most characters in the game. So, by nature, playing SSJ Vegeta carries you to dealing with Super Dash because he has light DP.
I wouldn't call that carrying.
That's not carrying. That's not carrying. That's not carrying.
You're not thinking about it. You're not thinking. Like every
brother
character
got left
has
on
something that makes the game easier for you. That was the question.
I don't know if carried is the right word.
Like you say, they make the game easy, but to what extent? They make the game. They make a certain part. Every character makes a certain part of the game easier for you.
Like Vegeta.
Wouldn't that be called an advantage and not carry?
You know what it is? I think it's the variable is if it's if it's something that makes it easier for you, or is it something that makes
Universal for everybody.
that it's, no. It's not even necessarily that. But is it something that's more on your opponent's side? Or is it something that you don't even have to think about? Like with what you're saying, it's on your opponent to super dash for you to be carried by that. If your opponent knows, you know what I'm saying?
And he's
You
No,
know,
but then you can't. But then you know that you can't super dash. So now
with someone like Lab Coat, if I
she does the
spin,
same thing.
I spin, baby.
You can't super dash. Same, literally same thought process.
it's not. I would not call the Lab Coat spin the same thought process
Yeah,
as
as
They're
Vegeta.
both frame one anti-airs. They're the same.
But the difference is Lab.
No way,
No,
no
no,
way,
wait, hold on.
No way, Kite.
Right now, that Lab Coat spin is the same as Vegeta reacting
There's no way. There's no way.
with the DP.
Me doing DP light DP plus assist has the same effect as a spin plus assist.
All right, but
Spin
Lab
kills
Coat
you.
spin does 50 million other things besides
Well, I
that.
mean, but again, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Characters that can't do the thing will naturally fall down to the bottom of the tier list. The fact that she could convert off of it into 50+% and go in SSJ Vegeta can't, unless he like sparks, right? Unless he does like some TOD.
Okay, so wait. You're referring
to the question. That's why I would say he wouldn't carry, because
No, but my point is that every character has something that makes the game easier for you. That's what
I wouldn't
they
call
all
it
carry you
but
in
we-
some aspect.
I don't think that's carry.
Yeah,
though.
I wouldn't call
think
that
it's just,
carrying,
it just
no.
gives you an
Bro, I
advantage
don't have
for
to
a
think
certain
about
thing.
super dash. How is that not carrying?
But people with SSJ Vegeta, if they play those characters, they're gonna still get hit by Super Dash. Well, with Lab Coat, they spin. Come on, bro. Like it's nothing comparable to that spin. SSJ
Bro,
Vegeta
they're both anti-airs. How are they not comparable?
compared
Wait,
to
Kai's
one
referring.
has
Wait,
a
hold
better
on. Hold on. Kai's referring. Let me see if I'm wrong or not, Kai.
I'm
They're
thinking
referring.
while you're doing this.
Yeah, you're referring to specific situation, like the Super Dash situation. Vegeta and Labco can deal with it more or less the same. They have an answer
Yeah,
to Super
and
Dash.
on Wake Up, they safe jump you. He does light
so
DP call the
can-
assist. Like,
Can we
so
also
it's the same
say to the
situation
fact
that Labco comes up in, you could do it with other anti-airs.
so in that same situation, is it fair to say every character in the game can just jab the Super Dash?
Well, I mean, yeah, you could.
Right? So then if every character in the game can jab the Super Dash, what makes SSJ Vegeta so exclusive to carrying out that situation? Because if I'm playing Piccolo, I could just jab your Super Dash and get the same result. So is it exclusive to SSJ Vegeta? Like how is he now carrying if I can just jab it?
Because he can do that off of his Ki Blast. Characters like Labco spin. When she throws Ki Blast, you still can't super dash her because she spins because you go through the Ki Blast. It's
So what about like Majin
2
21 then? Majin 21 can do like jump JS or something, right? Or any other character that have like
2S.
jump
She
Ki
can do
Blast.
2S into command grab. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's the same concept with the anti-airs. They all make it easier for you to deal with super dash in some way or another. So are you gonna so if we're gonna say like top tiers make the game easier, if that's the argument that you go with, every character has something that makes the game easier.
Oh, so you're saying it in regards to the question, not in regards to
No,
like
but he's saying that's his definition of carry. That's what he's saying. He's saying
I
his
don't
definition
think-
of
I don't think that's carry
is
to me.
if your character does something that makes the game easier, then that one thing carries you in that one scenario. But
Overall.
I wouldn't
that's what I'm
call
saying.
that,
Overall,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I think if your character does one thing that helps you in one scenario, then that helps you in that one scenario. I would not use the word
Carried, yeah. I think that's
for that-
advantage.
for that,
He
yeah.
gives you the advantage,
He
not
may
carried.
help you in that one scenario. Yeah, he gives you advantage in that one scenario. I would not say he
Carry.
carries you in that scenario.
All right, but
Carry is
then
like a more-
take the anti-air away, and then you're struggling to punish super dash. Like, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
think if you're ready for light
If
DP,
they
you're
don't-
ready
if
for
they-
a jab.
if the player don't got lab coat spin to punish super dash, then all right, what are they gonna do now to punish super dash? They drastically don't punish the super dash anymore. I wonder why.
I'll stick to the fact that if you can react with spin, you can react with jab.
You can react
Yeah, but
with
you
the
can
damn
react to
shield.
spin in many more. You can react to spin in with light DP in many more situations than you can than jabbing it. I have to complete, and this is why I don't like Vegeta like that, base Vegeta, because I don't have anything to throw Ki Blast and then stop the super dash. I have to completely stop to time my jab and stop your super dash. These characters just throw Ki Blast a million times and they buffer DP or they buffer spin and then they just do it. They don't have to worry about it.
Of course, you have a higher chance of hitting somebody with a spin.
You can
I see.
skill like
I see.
if you're
I can
skilled enough,
see
you can
you.
jab it.
Yeah.
But these things have way bigger hitboxes, and they're frame 1 anti-air. They can do many other things.
I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I just don't like the word carried in that.
Yeah,
that's for me too.
If we agree to disagree with that, then that's fine. I just would not.
I don't think it's carried. Yeah, I don't think you're carried by that.
You have the advantage.
But then what does carried even mean? Like, we just say it, but like, what does it even mean?
Yeah, that's
when do y'all use the word carried?
When you have GTA assist.
I don't use the word carried.
When it can clearly remove the gap between a lower tier player and a player tier above them. I think that is when it carries. When it carries you a tier above. In that situation, that move itself can carry you a tier above than a player you actually are.
Yeah, GTA assist season 2.
Absolutely. I beat 3 niggas in one night I was not supposed to.
Yeah.
Assist.
Yeah, Chris.
Name.
Hey, can I get a name?
All right, say that. So the night GT came out, right? Or I think it was either the night or the week afterwards. I beat Scamby, Prodigy, and I forget who else. I think I made top 8 at a fucking house
HOC?
event.
Yeah.
At a HOC. And this is when we were inside the house.
Word.
And I was using fucking GT, Goku Black, and fucking I think like randomly like Tien or some fucking third. It didn't matter. I had GTA assists. I was chilling.
No, that's real. That carries you, but
that's a different carry.
It's not just one scenario in which it can be used, which is why I would dispute what Kite said.
I got a quick question. If that's the definition of carried, what happens when both players are picking it?
Both carry.
Both players carry. Just because both players are playing it doesn't mean they cease to become carried.
Well, I mean, but by definition, it closes the gap. But that's what he was saying. He was saying that it would close
a tier above what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'm way better than a player and he picks Labco and now he's on my level, and then I pick Labco and I go above, what like?
You're both carried.
We're at the beginning.
You're still carried because if you can't beat him with his carried self, you need to be carried further in order to beat him. If y'all on the same level because he's carried, then you need to be carried yourself in order to beat him. No.
But then that just throws the entire word out. Like, it just doesn't mean anything at that point.
No. So what you're saying? Wait, hold on, Tom. So
okay.
You're saying that it nullifies it essentially.
Yeah. So like, if I'm not playing Labco and he picks Labco, and he's carried but I'm not, but like it doesn't mean anything. Like if I pick Labco, so I'm also carried at the same time.
Yes.
But that doesn't like. How come? Because the skill gap is still the same. The skill gap is still the same.
The skill gap. I said that's why I specifically said when I said carry, it raises a player a tier above what they're supposed to be.
I'm carried by Napa. I play EX Cyberman and I turn my brain off, and then I win.
Are you carried?
Not carried by Napa. You're carried by people's lack of knowledge about Napa.
Ooh.
Honestly, I think that's cap because I play an EX Cyberman. You know what you're doing. You're getting mixed. You don't know what you're doing. You're getting hit by a random Cyberman move.
I still don't understand because if everyone's picking Fusion and Labco, then the gap between players don't matter. So what? That everyone goes up a tier. Nothing changes.
It goes. Wait, hold on. So it goes from if I play GT, I'm carried. But if Kai also plays GT, now he's nullified. Now it has to come to like a next layer of what about that second character you're playing? Now it comes.
So it's like all right, me and Daniel both picked GT Goku, but like the skill gap didn't disappear. Like it didn't go away because if we're both going up a tier, it doesn't matter. So being carried at the end of the day doesn't matter if everyone's picking it.
That's crazy how Daniel just going to listen
We called the OD stray. That was crazy. OD stray.
All right. From now on, Kai won't be on the podcast every.
You just come from the C team, nigga. You're done. You're finished. Anyway, so just because you and him both played a carry character and 2 carry people fight each other does not mean you guys cease to become carried.
Being carried doesn't matter. It's just arbitrary. It doesn't. Being carried doesn't mean anything. It has no meaning.
I remember how we were just talking about it in the sense of the guys what the question was asked, but being carried or not is arbitrary at the end of the day. This shit definitely doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
The original question is pinned at the top. The original question is pinned.
No, that,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
he was
saying, we
like, to
brought it
what
up
extent
because
do
of the
y'all
question,
think top
but
tiers
yeah.
actually carry? Like, we say they make the game easier, but to what extent?
I'm just saying. All I'm saying it. I would say
That's
this.
why. That's why I came up with my original statement.
SJ Vegeta, light DP frame one is not gonna win me the game. Labco spin might win me the game.
Nigga, there's no reason that. All right, so here's my problem with lab coat spin. The vertical one is clearly supposed to be an anti-air. It should only function as an anti-air. Why is that one also key blast immune? And if the horizontal
bro.
one is supposed to be key blast immune,
We all ask the same thing, bro.
You know they don't touch their games, bro. You know that.
Do these niggas not play this game before they just
know
release the
this.
patch? Does no
Of
one know
course
how to
not.
lab
bro.
in the
Of course
fucking
not.
studio?
Wait, Kite. Someone
Who
asked you a question. Kite and Kusix. Yeah, they asked you a question. When we're talking about being being carried right now, are we talking about not needing fundamentals or not needing to be good at certain facets of the game?
I think
Wait, say it again.
I think it could be either or.
Wait, let me repeat it. Let me repeat it for Kite. While we're talking about being carried right now, are we talking about not needing fundamentals or not needing to be good at certain facets of the game?
I think it can be either or. I think there are some characters that
Could be
remove
both.
the need for fundamentals, and there are certain characters that remove the need for you to be knowledgeable at certain parts of the game. For example, Lab Coat removes the need for you to kind of like be aware of what exactly you're supposed to do in active defense or when it comes to dealing with neutral. I think spin as a move is probably just egregious. I think hit is also one of those characters where you no longer need certain fundamentals of the game just because he plays a different game.
I think the hit one is
people
cap.
can be carried by hit. Yeah, I absolutely believe that niggas can be carried by hit. There are certain parts of the game you can simply proceed to ignore if you're playing it. And you know that's true.
Are you saying hit is a scrub character?
Absolutely, 100%.
I mean, he is a scrub character, but he only has one. He only has
He's a
one
scrub
move.
killer. That's what he really is.
He's a scrub killer, and if you learn how to do 3 quarter circle inputs, you simply become a scrub killer yourself. If that's not carried, I don't know.
Is hit more of a scrub killer than lab coat?
No.
Nah, bro.
It is more of a knowledge check than lab coat.
No. Realistically, would you be more scared of a random hit player or random lab coat player?
I would be more
Lab
scared
coat,
of
actually. Yeah,
Lab
random
coat.
hit player, yeah.
Random hit for sure.
No, I'm scared of Black Coat.
I'm scared of a random hit.
I don't know when that nigga's going to hit EX.
Yeah,
that bitch hits 2, 3, 6,
you might
8.
get randomly hit. That's how I
The
feel.
thing is, though, with a random lab coat, like, a lot of her shit is negative. You know what I'm saying?
You
So,
can
like,
stop
she
that
can do
shit,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah. You
Bro,
can
no, that's
definitely
the thing.
cook it.
That's the thing with random hit players are not opening me up. Like, I'm just gonna up back.
The problem is you don't see any random hit players. That's the problem. You don't really have that many hit players. But if
Also, there's only like 2 good hit players in the world. Like, I'm not scared of random hit.
Okay.
I don't know, bro.
We need the kite Neo money match, man. That's what we need.
Yeah,
Bro, that wasn't even a shot at Neo. That wasn't a shot. That wasn't. It's literally facts.
Is Neo one of those 2 players?
What happened?
Is Neo one of those 2 players?
No.
Damn.
That's a shot.
It's Albeit and Wade.
Oh shit.
They're the best with that character. That's the fact.
Yeah.
That's not a shot.
That's a shot, bro.
That's a shot.
Specifically said there's only 2
Yeah,
good hit players.
it's a
Because
shot,
there's
bro.
only 2. It's them 2.
So Neo's not a good hit player?
Bro,
Just answer your
I
question.
literally said this already.
So
America has no. I will say it again. If anyone wants me to repeat my tweet, America has no good hit players.
Thank you, KD, for the sub.
Nice.
I said that already.
Oh my god.
That's not.
If you
even,
guys-
like,
if-
that's
if
nothing
you
crazy.
guys-
I already said that.
If you guys weren't here earlier, it was saying Neo plateaued.
Yeah.
For everybody that wasn't here earlier,
Bro, I always
That's kind of crazy.
plateaued is
I always
crazy.
help Neo, bro.
I'm about to play hit now.
Jesus.
I mean, all the hit are in EU. It's literally Wade. So here's my tier list of hit. S tier hit is OB, UFA OB, and then right under that is Wade, and then under that is Ecoon, and then 2 to 5 tiers under that is the rest of the world.
Oh my god. You put that nigga
Nobody
in the
is
S
at the
tier,
same
bro?
level as them, bro. They do the craziest, they do the cleanest shit with that.
That's
Yo,
OD.
With that
Yo,
game.
nah, yo, Neo, smoke him right now. Neo, you can play this nigga right now.
Nobody is fucking with them.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Nobody's
shit.
fucking with them.
I'm glad I don't play here because
I agree with you. I agree
not
that
take
it's fucking with them. You play a lot, bro. It's crazy, bro. Like,
Personally,
Bro, they're tournament proven. They're
Damn.
tournament proven.
Is Neil not? Wait, hold on. Hey, hold on. Is Neil not tournament proven?
What's Neil's best place to get a tournament?
he
Second
got
at
night
this
deck
point.
combo breaker. He got third. He got second at.
Oh yeah, I
NEC.
did. He did pop off. He did pop off at that tournament. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think it was night combo breaker.
You kinda do it, kinda dirty.
Around, like top 16, or at least like right outside of it. You can't deny that. Like, that's
yeah, you
kinda-
do him kind of
Yeah,
dirty,
but Obi and Wade just got top 3 at UFA.
Okay, but they're players, though. We know
But hold on. Time out.
players outside of hit as well, though.
Wait, time out.
also
We could
be the
just
top
say
revelation.
we can put it down to the fact that they're better tournament players. Period.
Yeah, that's how. Yep. That's what
Let
I'm
me
saying.
say one
Yeah,
thing. Let me say
but
one
like-
thing.
but-
To be completely honest, before you say anything, Obi has honestly always just been better than everyone else at the game. But this nigga was playing like the worst possible combination of team in 2019. Back when shit cost like one full bar. When this nigga was playing a Do Gohan with Team Gohan and hit and couldn't get a sliding knockdown with
Yeah,
his
because
team.
didn't he play Yamcha hit at a point too?
Nigga, he was playing like Yamcha, like he was playing
Yeah, I
the
remember that,
ugliest shit with hit. And now those characters that he wants to play can finally work together properly, and I think it's showing. That's simply my thing. I think Obi just always been a better player than everyone, and his team just didn't work for him, and now it does.
So basically, my question is that let's take away them as players and let's talk about Hit as the character. Would Neo still?
Obi's the best hit. Obi's the best hit for you.
No, we know that. I'm talking about where Neo is at in comparison to like every Hit player. So you will still put that down because of course they're the better player than Neo. I'm not saying they're not because as the placement
We
shows,
need Neil to defend himself right now.
like
That's
with the Hit. You know what I'm saying? Because if nobody plays him.
He's still top. He's like top 20 hits at minimum. At
Top
minimum.
20 is
20
not a compliment.
I
Niggas
can't
20
even
hits,
name 20 hit
let's say
players. I'll be honest with you.
Top 20 world. I mean, I don't know that many hit players.
I don't know if there's 20 hits. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
There's 20 hits. I don't think there's 20 hits.
Like,
I'm beyond. All right, so I'm gonna have to
I
put him
could
in the top
definitely-
5. I'm gonna have to put him in the top 5.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this question: is he the best Hit US? Because there are Hit players here.
I
Okay.
would say he's probably the best hit US.
And I
Yeah,
would
but
also agree with
here's
you.
the thing. Here's the thing. When we get into these conversations,
Raptor, whoa, niggas, where'd you put Raptor, my nigga?
I'm not a Hit connoisseur, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
that
not-
was
I'm
that
not
was
judging.
Kane.
That wasn't me. That was Kane.
I hate connoisseur is crazy.
Nigga put a Koan above Raptors hit is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's what
I ain't gonna lie, I have only watched Raptor play.
that boy
during
Eco
the
one is
World Tour.
nasty. I don't know what you're talking about.
But I don't know. I think the
That's
whole
not the only
conversation.
one. It's like 5 in the US. I think 5 or 4 in the
I
US.
would even say the whole
Oh.
conversation with the hit, who's the better hit, whatever. I think it's like whatever. Truthfully, if you're not winning the
is
tournament,
whatever. That's the
playing the character, then I don't know if you can say you're the best character. You're the best player with that character.
He's winning. He's just not winning.
He's winning. He's just not winning at the level of those other players.
Yeah, but if you're not winning at that level, like, can you say your hit is at that level?
He's the
Like, you know what I
only
mean?
hit
Like,
that's making it to that level.
Yeah.
So I'm
outside
saying
of
in the only US, yeah, outside
Yeah.
of them in the US, he's the only one doing it. So that's why I would also give him credit for that in a sense.
Like the reason he catches it straight every time you say something about hit is because he's the next most notable hit after.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Because if you think about it, if we think about,
I know more hit players than just Neo,
and
but like,
21.
You know more hit players than Neo. Where have they placed?
they don't.
Why
That's
are
why
they
they're not
catching
good.
strays?
They don't. That's why they're not good. They're also captured the stray.
Damn.
Sheesh.
They're not even well known enough to catch a straight because I don't know them.
Sheesh.
Real shit. That's why I don't want to see their names in chat right now. I don't want to see any of their names in chat.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
God.
I don't want to see it. They listing off.
Oh my
They listing off
God.
names in chat. Hit players. I don't want to
Yo,
see
hit
it.
players in the US, you should be offended, bro. Don't let this
I
nigga
don't
talk
want
to
to
you
see
like that.
If you
Okay.
play hit in the US when Roadback drops, hit me up.
For the next 3 weeks, I'm playing hit, bro. This is crazy.
Wait,
Bro,
hold
I
on.
told
So-
you.
I
No,
would never play
So
that.
wait, hold on.
Hell no.
Can we talk about? So are we able to talk about like?
Oh,
What are you-
hold on.
you got
Yeah, hit
your
player?
back over Neo.
Can we talk about? Wait,
Actually,
hold on.
Jeff
Can we
Vaughn
talk
did
about-
smoke all them niggas?
can we talk about the?
Let's talk about major placements.
No,
What
no,
is
hold on,
different than a major?
No. Hold on. I want to say, can we talk about the evolution overall of said player?
Somebody
Who
join?
the fuck is this guy?
Who's
All right,
that?
no, nobody join up. Let's
Join.
leave it at 5 is max. 5 is, I think, is already too many heads.
Who is that?
Let's leave it at 5.
Whose man's is that?
But I was gonna say, can we talk about like the evolution of said player then? Like going from where we were talking about earlier about did Obi play previous games or not?
Didn't he play?
I'm
So
not
he
sure.
played
Did he
Marvel,
play
but he was
Marvel?
never part of the Marvel
Yeah.
competitive scene in Europe.
So,
I
but
know
we,
for a fact he did play
but he learned from Marvel because if you played the game, you probably learned
I
something.
mean, I don't
Yeah,
know
I'm
how
pretty sure he
good
did
or
play
not
So,
he was.
so what I'm trying to get at is to the point that I'm pretty sure this is Neo's first fighting game. Am I wrong?
No,
No,
he
he
played
plays
Blaze
CS.
Blue.
Okay,
played
okay.
Blue.
No, he doesn't. I'm not checking it. I'm not checking it.
He played
He
CF.
played
and
Blaze
he's
Blue.
actually
I said that was his
Gosh.
first fighting game. He had some tournaments and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
So,
Why
can we-
aren't you jacking it, Kusa?
Yo, yeah, gotta put
No,
some
wait,
respect
hold
on
on. Wait, hold on. I wanna make this point. So, do we give credit to like Neo in terms of evolution from where he started to where he is now? Does he not get credit for that?
I'm giving credit because he's definitely older
Yeah.
than all the other hit players. So he deserves the respect for being able to play 3 years right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I give him credit because at one point he was getting washed up, and then now he's top 2 at regionals, and he's doing good placements. It's not like you see the evolution of him as a player.
We're not gonna count this top 2. We should probably leave this top 2 out of this discussion.
Okay, I mean, like, okay, he beat Jazz Rap. It's a major winner. Jazz Rap beat Pred. So for him to
Yeah.
go back and beat Jazz Rap, that should be something big. He's done things like you see the little sparks of potential. I don't want to say plateau, but in a sense of you kind of like, it's there. He's just not excelling to that
See,
next
I
that level.
like how Jay would put it. I think Inzem is a good like analogy to it, where like Inzem had the potential to be like what we see him at Finland cooking Kane and Wade. He just never got to do it.
Yeah.
He just never like actually did it. Like he would always just like fall short until now.
He was
did it.
balancing being the best at Gears of War quite literally for his team.
That's true. I mean, he was very active with the last
not,
year.
not very active. He actively winning like the 100K.
He won like 3 tournaments in a row. I know.
Yeah.
And like I guess now he only could play Dragon Ball, so he could put all his focus on that. Like,
Do we say Enzo is an evolved player?
Yes.
Yeah.
After what I saw happen to Wade in Finland, that shit, or wherever the fuck it was, Finland, right?
bro, like
Yeah,
let's just keep
You
it
look from
above.
the 10v10 to now, you can see the
At
evolution.
one point, Inzem lost to Yasha at Evo, and then lost to X Kashiki, and then he lost to what did he lose to at Bumps? He lost to
He's a Kefla player. He lives in Michigan, I believe.
He plays.
and
with
then he
the-
lost to Double L at Bums, and then Hook, I think, and then now he's beating the best French players. Like, of course, his evolution.
Yeah.
Like it's just obvious. You can see it with your eyes. You don't need anybody to tell you that.
I see. I just think that I think Neo should just take this as inspiration to get to that level. He has the potential. It's right in his face. It's right in our faces.
It's
You have to take it.
To be honest, Scamby be getting on his ass. He is right about one thing. That nigga need to stay off the internet in the middle of his matches, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. Checking social media in the middle of matches.
But that's what we go back to the mental side of the game, right? It all comes. We're going back to the mental side of the game, and I also say it comes back to the people that were at that tournament with Neo. I also put blame on them as well for knowing his weaknesses and not stopping him from essentially being on social media.
No. I'm not going to blame him. He should be able to stop himself. The point of fighting.
But
games,
sometimes you need help.
Why we compete in fighting games? Because fighting games is not a team game. It's a 1v1.
1v1, yeah.
That's the whole point. I'm not going to allow a player who actively competes in fighting games to use the OS about the people around him. The point of fighting games is so you play on your own
But it's
against
not
someone else by themselves.
But Kusix okay. So you wasn't here for this part of the conversation. Wait, you wasn't here for this part of the conversation. Would you like to be coached? Would you like to be coached?
No.
No? Okay. So that's probably why you have that stance. Right. Like for example,
No.
I
would not want to be coached in a situation where I need how am I gonna say this? Because I get coached actively in league. I play league almost religiously now. I played it 24 hours straight the other night, and I got coached like straight. Not straight 24 hours, but a decent amount of it. So there are times where I like to be coached. I am willing to learn. The part of actively wanting to be coached, I don't seek out coaches. If I wanted to be coached, I would go to a nigga's Metafy or I would hit up someone and I would do that.
Okay, so
Okay.
I don't mind being taught. I do not want to be
Okay.
coached.
So the going back to what we were talking about earlier with Daniel, we were saying that you might not want to be coached, but so when that person comes up to you, do you listen to every single person that comes to you to coach you, or do you take tidbits between each person, or do it like how do you apply?
Taking everything with a grain of salt, no matter what. Not even just fighting games. That's just life in general. Anytime you listen to someone, you need to be taking that shit with a grain of salt. You take anyone else's word as God, you're asking to get smoked later on.
I like that.
Okay. But I'm saying I think since Neil ended up getting 6-0 at NEC, I do truly believe
6-0 too.
I do truly believe had people been, I'm not saying that the guys that were there weren't in his corner, but I would say if they would have like, yo Neil, give me your phone, focus on your match, he would have played better.
So like, what do you guys mean
that's
by
not, I don't think you blame the people around him for that.
Yeah, you can't blame it. It's a personal thing.
I'm not fucking Neil. I'm not taking phone talking about paying phone.
But like, what is he doing though?
He's definitely a grown ass man, bro.
It's be like
on
Twitter,
okay.
like, after the game. What do you mean by that?
That's crazy.
Even as a grown ass man, it doesn't mean that you always make the right decisions. That it's not hand in hand. It's not. Just cause I'm a grown man doesn't mean that I know better. You don't always know better.
Right, I see that. But like,
and I'm saying if I know Neil's biggest weakness, if I know one of his biggest weakness is being on social media, and I know that holds him back when he's going through his phone, posting and tweeting or whatever. If I know, as his man, if I know that, I'm gonna be like, yo Neil, you're about to play in grand finals. Get off your phone.
Give me your phone. Just give me your phone.
Get off your phone. If I know that information.
That's something Neil can do as a player to help himself, because Zayn did this exact thing over in UFA. He felt that he needed someone's advice.
I already disputed that though.
Huh?
You know, Zayn said that everything that you told him, that essentially we said at that moment,
no.
he said
that. He said it was all irrelevant. He gave himself a mental reset. It's not even about if he took my advice or not. He realized he needed just to hear something else than himself. He realized he needed to do something, and he took it upon himself.
He used that as the mental to get his mental correct.
That's the mental. Regardless of what I said or anything, where I was right about the Zamasu 2Hing the assist, because I told him to use Zamasu 2H to be hit assist. But anyway, that's besides the point. Besides that, like, he used that to give himself a mental reset. If you know as a player you need to give yourself space, then you should be actively asking someone. Zayn actively asked. I didn't grab Zayn and tell him to come over to me or you, Dave. Zayn said, I need a break. I need someone to help me reset, regardless of the information they give me correct or wrong. Went over to us.
Yes.
He went back to his seat.
But just like that,
who said Jake on Discord, then we had to. If Neo knows that, and it's constantly been proven that that's his main weakness, that he needs to put himself in a situation where when he goes to the tournament, there's someone he talks to when he needs that talking.
But he doesn't know. He doesn't know how to.
If he can't, no. If he can't tell by now, after dropping the ball this many times in these situations,
Wait, real quick. My thing is, before we even get any further, was Neil on his phone during the grand finals?
So I was trying to ask, like,
he was tweeting.
How do we know this? Because the only reason that niggas even talking about this is because Scamby said that shit, and that nigga wasn't even there. So has anybody actually seen Neil on his phone during grands?
I'm saying the fact that he was tweeting, leading up to grands. I'm saying just in general, the moment he hit grand finals, he said, he even put it on Instagram, for example, right? He's saying 1 more or 2 more matches to go. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, focus purely on your tournament set. Tweet about it after.
Well, so my thing is, you guys know Neo more than I know Neo. I got a chance to meet Neo. We had a good time, whatever, right? So are you saying that as soon as he logs on to social media, he's distracted? He can't tweet and say,
he has the mental stability of a Pringle chip.
That is insane. Jesus,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I've beaten Neo because he has heard my voice in tournament before.
Oh, so you're saying you can easily get in his head, basically.
1,000%.
Gotcha.
I might be.
So I would agree then. He should not be on Twitter. Got you.
I might be one of the worst examples, but 100%, I've beaten Neo simply because I've gotten into his head.
Got you. Okay.
I ain't
I
gonna.
would-
I should
understand
probably
now.
change topics. He's definitely been talking about Neo for like
Yeah.
20 minutes, bro. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna.
Drunk who says I'm not drunk.
Okay.
You're not drunk.
I
Wait, no, we can switch it. We can
I do
switch it.
think, yeah, I think we should switch topics because at the end of the day,
for a minute.
yeah.
What
Well,
you
I would
mean?
even say-
we trying to get Neo some notoriety.
No, but you're kind of. I'm not saying
Let him cook.
you're spitting as far as like what you're saying, but I do think being the same thing into fruition every single time could get kind of. Neo don't need that. Just as much as you say you get in his head easily, hearing you say the Pringles comment, I'm not saying what you said was wrong. He mentally don't need to see that neither, because that can fuck him up mentally even more. So we don't want to
I didn't
keep.
even care about that for real. We just been talking about it for like 20 minutes, bro.
Got you too.
I believe in
So
talking about one man for like 20 minutes, bro.
I okay.
Podcast. This is what
So-
podcasts do.
Yeah, nah, I respect it. I respect
But
it.
You wanted to
all
get
right, hold
podcasts
on. I haven't heard Callie's voice in a minute. Callie, I have a question for you.
Hey man, how you
Um,
doing? How you doing?
What's going on, bro?
I'm
You good?
You know-
good?
you know you my
enjoying your
man.
night, man.
I am. You know you my man's 100 grams, but I gotta ask you.
What's up, man?
How easy do people get in your head, or how easy do you get in other people's heads?
And I know when Naba's on the screen, niggas' mentals get shattered immediately. Like that shit is mad free, and I can tell it's more with Napa than anyone else when a nigga gets frustrated because I put that Cyberman out, and niggas just start doing the most convoluted, stupidest shit I have ever seen in my life, and it be from the calmest players too, bro. They will be doing the most stupidest shit randomly, bro, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? It's just a little Cyberman on the screen, you feel me? So I know niggas get flustered.
So in those situations when you're winning that mental battle, or when how about this? When opponent's in your head, how do you battle that?
When my opponent's in my head,
Yeah. And you're like, damn, he's in my he knows what I want to do.
breathing. I don't know if y'all like practice actual proper breath control. It's one of the greatest things that I learned.
Nah, he's spitting though.
Continue.
He's definitely spitting though.
Why you
He's
being
spitting though.
My bad,
He's definitely spitting right now.
No,
like I got the whole thing.
Like Cali talk, cause this can actually help a lot of players. Go ahead, Cali.
No, legitimately though, like there is legitimate. I know that it sounds funny, but there is a serious thing as breath control and proper breathing. A lot of people do not breathe at a proper rate or in a proper manner. You know what I mean? You have automated breathing and stuff, but when the tensions get high and your adrenaline kicks in and things start going crazy, your breathing changes. If you can learn how to control your breathing and keep a steady pace and keep the oxygen flowing at a steady rate, you will calm yourself through any scenario.
That is true.
Like that's just real shit. That's real shit.
Are we asking everyone about their advice on this?
Yeah, we can go down the list.
All right, we'll go down the list. I'll go left.
Go ahead, Jabo.
What's the advice? Was it people get in your head?
When people are in your head, Jabo, and you know your opponent knows everything you want to do, how do you fight that?
I've been working on this lately because one day I was in Bum's chat and he kind of told me about myself. He was like, I get angry too fast. So what I've been doing lately is just kind of like calming my mental. Like I'm not gonna lie, when I'm playing the game, how I play fighting games or just anything in competition in general, my mind is racing at all times. Like it's going at the speed of light. And I realized that at times I just need to do like Callie said, breathe, play my favorite song, play a soothing song to get me into the proper focused mindset. And that's how I kind of adapt from situation because I'm a very competitive person in anything I do. So I do not like losing. I do not like cutting myself short. I don't like feeling like, damn, like I put this time in and I still failed. So I've been learning how to kind of like, husa, like, all right, don't get mad. Let's figure out what the hell's going wrong right now so we can switch this. That's how I've been doing.
Okay.
That breath work is important, man.
Is Kai still?
That
Kai,
breath work,
are you
man.
still gone or are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you hear the question?
What advice when somebody's in your head?
Yes.
Well, I'm assuming this is like in tournament, right? I'm talking about tournaments.
Yeah, in tournament.
All right, somebody's in your head in tournaments. You need to realize that you're not like creative enough, or you're not. You have to realize you're doing things that are too obvious. So, one, you have to reset yourself. Go to fucking character select, pick new colors, mental reset, and you have to realize that like, just keep like you've gone into the tournament with a game plan, and you need to, and this is where your game plan has hit a wall, and this is where you actually like have like your greatest improvements if you're up to the challenge. Like you have to just overcome. Like they know what you're gonna do. Like they have the download on you. Now you have to come up with something new, and you can't do that if you're angry. You can't do that if you're tilted. You have to first you have to reset yourself, and then you have to start getting creative and reach to your bag.
Reach into your bag like the fries at the bottom. All right, I heard you.
Whoa. I'm not letting that ride. Can't, absolutely not.
It's not single anyway.
Oh my god.
So your fries at the bottom, Kelly? Where your fries at the
Nigga,
top?
that was terrible, nigga. Shut up. That was bad, bro.
Oh my
Yeah, that was not bars. That was not bars, bro.
Why you let me rock, gang? Let me rock.
That was a fire.
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit,
All right.
yo.
That
All
was
right, go.
Oh shit.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Kusik. Go
Oh,
ahead.
shit.
What do you do when somebody's in your head? Yes.
Or a nigga in my head? I mean, he trapped. Shit, you should not be in my head. My head is a dangerous place to be. Nigga.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
Oh my god.
What? You think I would ever let these niggas get the best of me mentally? I think like to be honest, this is just me. Imagine being in Kuz's head. All right, if it's me, I automatically think like if I'm losing a match, I think about everything I'm doing better than the nigga in, right? Because I've been to Europe 3 times.
Oh my god.
And I ain't paid for that shit.
Oh my god.
This nigga's stupid. Nigga said, nigga, I live a better life than you. I get more bitches than you. I got a car. Yeah, I got
Nigga,
Real.
Oh,
you
nah,
saw I had to
man.
go away from my mic for a second, nigga. Like,
No. Honestly. Things that other players can actually do, like in tournament setting.
This may sound petty, but you can honestly think about everything you've ever just done better than your opponent. Right?
That's mad petty.
This may sound like the most grimy way to do about it, but like this is OD. Like if I'm taking it out right now, I'm like, damn. I guess I gotta go back to my well-paying job of
Right.
doing tax shit.
You know how you win? You know how you win?
Way.
You gotta get some pussy tonight, so.
This nigga, bro.
Alright. So, alright.
If I go back to
Women,
commentary,
bro.
it's like no, like
To
you.
my girlfriend.
So this is the real shit. This is the real shit, right? I tell people when it comes to focusing in a game, right? You have to be able to consistently be able to reset your mental state and win. If you can do that, you can never truly tilt yourself. The way I tell players like this, because I've coached people who actually have weak mental. In other games, I've actually done legitimate coaching to help people overcome their mental. And I tell yourself, think of one of the brightest moments of your life, one of the moments where you felt the best, and use that as a moment to constantly reset yourself in forms of like neutral in your head. Okay? Like if you are like abysmally down, you need to think about the moment where you either performed the best or you got the best result, and then constantly imagine that in your head.
That's not distracting though. That's not distracting.
You're already distracted because you're losing, or else you wouldn't need to do it.
My fault.
Real shit.
You're right.
This is like real shit. Like if I'm already losing, I already know I haven't fully focused on the game. So that means I take the time where I'm losing. If it's not like a game point scenario, I can take that moment. I'll jump. There are moments when you see me not interact with people, right? And it'll be like after I lose a character, you're like, man, why is Kusic's like playing back so far when he's down? I'm like, I'm resetting myself. And I don't mind. And then I'll do that and I'll come back in with the correct thing. It's the same thing for the next match. You can take that time between matches to reset your mind. Sometimes you have to play angry though. I think you should be taking whatever emotion you feel at the time and using it to your advantage. One of my best results at AOC was after I lost to Sasu. Because I was so tight. Because I thought to myself, there is no reason I should have lost this nigga whatsoever.
Also, this doesn't apply to just losing either. Like sometimes, like when I win, like if I win a close game.
Yeah, because I shouldn't have won a game that close because it shouldn't have been that close. Sometimes
Reset. You know what I mean? Like the game was that close, it was tense. You eked it out, like, you know.
One thing I'll say for sure that can, of course, you have a little bit of background noise. I don't know what you're watching.
My bad. We about to do a comedy show here, nigga.
I don't know.
This nigga.
Bro, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
My best life.
All right, so all right, just mute yourself for now a little. Yeah. All right.
Oh, he's different.
Yeah, I missed that comedy show. But one thing that I'll say for sure is the fact I'm about to mute you myself. Oh, all right.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. One thing I'll say for sure is like I'll give a shout out to Eric, to Smooth Viper. He's noticed that I always like really nervous in tournaments, and one thing that he really gave me is the fact that he said, "Yo, Daniel, just you're getting deafened.
Oh my god.
You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. Yeah, you're muted.
Stupid.
All right. One of the things that Eric told me was just like, "Yo, bro, Daniel, I know you get really nervous during tournaments. Chew some gum to ease the nerves, and don't forget."
That's a good one. Yes.
And he said, "Chew some gum, and don't forget to just drink some water too while you're at it. A lot of players don't actually drink water between their sets. That's a real thing. You have to hydrate yourself and keep yourself focused, keep yourself energized, keep yourself awake. If you have to stand up real quick, stand up. If it's you down a game or you up a game and like Kai said, it was a close match. Yo, stand up, go pee. Even if you have to go pee, just go to the bathroom, go somewhere else, and get a quick reset. Just do a 360, do something. But step away from the game, drink some water, chew some gum, do something different, and then come back with a clean brain, with a clean mindset."
The gum thing is like actually scientifically proven that you focus better when you're chewing gum.
Yo.
Like,
is it actually
a really good? No, it's like actually scientifically proven that you focus better. Your brain is more active or something like that when you're chewing gum. Like it actually helps you mentally.
Acoustics, no.
No, I didn't know that. I thought it would just help overall.
No, it's something about your mind doing something autonomously while you're focusing helps you focus on whatever you're doing. A lot. It's like the same thing as why people like tap and shit while they're focusing or whatever. I can't remember the exact article.
Do you ever chew gum in your tournament sets, Callie?
I used to a lot. That was actually when I was like my early AOC days.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely HOC days. I was definitely made it a necessity to make sure I had gum at every tournament because I read that shit and like I really felt like it would help when something was bothering me. I would breathe and I would just start chewing really hard, and then I would just be over it. Like it was good to have something there. You know what I mean?
When does listening to music have the same effect?
I think it does. I think that's player to player though.
To music at tournament.
You said what?
I hate listening to music at tournament.
Yeah, no, I think that's player to player because for someone like me, because I'm a musician, I fucking love music. Music deeply affects me. So if I listen,
shout out Cali, plug your music.
Yeah, I'm a rapper. New single Skirt on Spotify, Apple Music right now. Look me up.
Play that shit right now.
Yes, sir.
Well, go ahead.
Nah, but music affects me deeply. I'm very in tune with music. So if I'm listening to something soothing, that shit will really help me out of a spot, especially when my opponent's getting in my head. I'll just tune out the game for a sec and just focus on the music. Mm-hmm. And then I'll just play autonomously and I'll just be focused on the music for a little bit. And that'll, like Acoustic said, that'll help me reset and, refocus. And then when I tune back in, I got a fresh state of mind. I'm ready to, do my thing again,
So this
I know some people don't like
it works for me too.
Now this is me. I want to know this. All right. What is the go-to song you play? What is that one song? What is your number one?
Are you asking me or in general?
Yeah, asking you specifically.
My number one song that I listen to. I gotta go. I have a playlist. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I have a playlist.
Okay. I don't really. Okay. I wouldn't say that I click on one song specifically. Now, honestly, there's one song that always calms me down. It feels like a warm blanket over me whenever I hear it. I can't lie. Now y'all laugh, but I'm dead ass. It's called It Gets Better with Time by the Internet. I love that song. It's one of my most comforting songs. Like that shit just always makes me just mad, warm, and happy. So I think if I was in like a really dire situation, I would probably play that song.
Okay. Okay. So we've been here for a minute, but I have one last question for everybody. One last question because we've been here for a while. How do players tap into the flow state?
Well, I mean.
Let's start with J-Bo. Let's start with J-Bo.
Say it again.
You should explain what flow state is for the people that might not know.
How do you explain flow state?
It's literally
the state of intense focus.
Yes, it's when you are no longer you're no longer even thinking about your decisions or anything. You are simply just playing. It's the highest level of focus.
I'll free you, Acoustics, when we get to your turn. Because you've been wilding.
So, you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead, Dribble.
All right. It's different for me because I compete outside of fighting games. I dance too, so I do dance competitions, Red Bull, etc., etc. So my focus state is the music, like kind of how Cali Mac said it with him. That's why when I play in tournament, I'm most likely listening to music because the way I am as a person, I already am a very competitive and very aggressive natured person when it comes to competition. So if I'm lost in the song and lost in that moment, you can't tap me or talk to me because I'm so in tuned with it. And most of the time, like for example, when I played that Heat Wave, that's probably the most focused I was been. Like you couldn't talk to me, you couldn't say anything to me. I was just in another state, basically. Like I can't really remember what I was doing before my sets at Heat Wave.
Was there like an outer body experience?
It's not really an outer body experience. It's just like you're focused. It's hard to explain. Like I'm not thinking about nothing right now but Dragon Ball right now. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm playing this set. This is the set. It's here in front of me. I'm not thinking about nothing else. No bills, no girl, no nothing. It's right here. I have a certain playlist for it. When I tap into that zone, it's just I'm there.
Can you
and
do
I
it
won't
on
come
command?
down until I'm done. I can do it in command, yeah.
That's OG.
It's hard. I'm not gonna say that it's easy to do it on command, but if I need to do it on command, I can. And that's just because when you the difference between like the FGC and like a dance tournament, I'm in your face. Like when a person's dancing in front of you, we're face to face. So I can easily be distracted if they flick me off, they want to do something, anything to kind of get in my head. I can't allow that to mess me up in a dance tournament. So I take that same thing into a gaming tournament. Anything that somebody's doing to me, teabagging me, whatever, I can't let that take me off of focus. Because if it is, then I'm gonna shitly perform because I'm one of those people where I'm like I do get mad easily. But the last probably like a couple of months, man, it's helped me a lot in my play and just in life in general.
Real quick, you mentioned I guess it's not I guess you probably can't answer this, but you mentioned teabag. Do you think overall that threw off Wade's game at all when Insum teabagged him?
I think it was already done before the teabag.
Okay, that's fair.
Right. I think the EX rocket kicks got into his.
Yep, that was it. Once he did the EX rocket kick, the teabag was just for us. The EX rocket kick back to back, it was done.
That's what people
are.
The
EX rocket kick wouldn't have been as bad without the teabag though. It was definitely
no, but he did double. He did double.
Yeah, two times though.
Yeah, he did double EXs, teabagged him, and then did the other EX because he, like, think about it like this: you just got EX stomped twice. And then
I'm playing the clip right now.
Boom. Yep. Right there.
And then Wade was probably mad that he got EX stomped twice. So Inzem did EX rocket kick.
You literally see Wade's face right after it.
No, but I mean,
like he was definitely mindfucked after.
He didn't have any meter. Yeah. No, you're right.
He tried to jab it twice, both times. Well, both times.
He got throw baited twice. He's like, Wade in his head is probably like, man, fuck this, I'm a 2H. And then he gets hit by EX rocket kick.
Yeah.
Look, even his reaction. Look, he's fucking like, man, he just did that shit to me, bro. I can't believe it. He just did that.
No cap, Insum. I was not giving you no handshake. I wasn't talking to you. We was you're not my man until.
Yeah, can we real quick before Cali speaks? Can we be honest real quick? I don't always have to shake a hand after a set.
No,
I agree with that.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, thank you. I don't always have to shake your hand after a set. If you smoke me, if you do me dirty, if you teabagging me, we could be boys, but I'm not shaking your hand, and that's
take your W. You just got the W. Why you want the handshake too? You got a W, bro. Take your W.
I will say, Daniel, when I body people, I definitely go to shake their hand. If they don't shake my hand, then it's okay. But I want them to shake my hand. If they don't do it, then whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, because I do think it's more disrespectful if you win and then you don't go to shake their hand. Like I think as the winner, you have to at least extend yourself to present the handshake at the very
least.
Unless I
don't realistically speaking, if Inzum did what he did to Wade, are you shaking? Inzum comes up to Wade, are you shaking his hand in that scenario?
No, he doesn't have to. No, but that's what I'm saying. Because Inzum won, he had to at the very least extend it.
Oh, you said if Inzum did it? Oh, okay, yeah.
I feel like if you win on some dickhead shit like that, and then you just pop off and then walk away,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
I think that's more fucked up than anything.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, because Inzum, even though he did that and it was disrespectful, it's not like he dissed him. He came up to him, still showed him love. Like, it's just Wade was just.
I just think
Wade didn't have to take the handshake, basically.
Okay. If Wade declines it, we can't be mad at Wade for declining it.
You definitely cannot be
mad at Wade. Absolutely not.
Okay, that's fair. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Kelly. How do you type in the flow state What is it to you?
Flow state, right? I'm gonna be honest. From my experience, I've only tapped into flow state a few times, and the few times that I've done it, it wasn't very long, and I don't know if it's just me, but it definitely felt like a little bit of an outer body experience. Like I would just be so focused on the game that whenever it would end or like something would happen, and I would like feel myself snap back to reality. Like, oh, what the fuck?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not even like I'm not even trying to be on no crazy mystical shit. You know what I'm saying? But it genuinely feels like you're not.
There.
It's really just autonomous.
Yeah.
Like it's literally on some like ultra instinct shit. Like everything is just so autonomous. Like you're not even.
Does
there's
everything
no
feel
thought
slow
process. It's literally
paced?
just playing. Yes.
Everything feels slowed down?
It's kind of slow place. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
there. It's so hard.
I've had the opposite. I've had the opposite where like I did it versus Wawa at Heatwave. Like everything was just so fast, but like you just move on instinct. Like you just know. Like it's not a thought process. It's just, like you just do it
In the moment,
You know what I
yeah.
It's like there's no like the connection is like it's like all right, I see something, I think about it, and then I do it. It's like no, I just see and then I do. Like I just know. Like you know what I mean?
Your hands move by itself?
Yeah, and it's like bro, everything's just moving so fast, but I just know what to do.
That's interesting. I never actually had someone say
that
like
was also
that.
like my saddest loss because I knew that was like when I lost, I was like I knew that's how I was playing, but then like I was playing so good and I was tapped in, but I still lost, and that was like such a sad loss for me. I can't lie.
Yeah, no, I feel
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
I actually haven't heard
that too, bro.
that perspective where a player says that the game is actually faster. Like even like professional players like the LeBrons of the world, they say the game is just so slowed down to them, and they're moving in fast pace.
Yeah, because I feel okay saying like the game's still moving at.
Yeah.
Basketball in general is a fast game, so the game's always gonna be, especially at the highest level, moving at a fast pace. But like for me, when I hit that shit, it's like I just see everything. It's probably still fast, but the way that I just see everything just makes it easier to perceive and understand and just react.
I feel like it's like the ultimate level of comprehension. You just comprehend everything in that moment, and like, even if something changes that you weren't expecting, you comprehend it. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like
everything just makes sense. Everything makes
sense. Literally everything. Even the button presses on the controller makes sense. It's like, oh yeah, I hit that right. I hit the controller button right.
Okay, that's fair. All right, let's get unhinged on the mic.
Unhinged.
That's crazy. You finally gonna be back after.
Nah, I told you you were wilding, so I had to keep you muted for a minute. But go ahead, Kostas. Have you ever tapped into the flow state?
So for me, since everyone gave their perspective as a player, I'll give mine more as a commentator and host, right?
Okay, that's fair.
So for me, flow state is usually when I don't have to think of even the next bit, right? Or when I can completely be in tune with the commentator next to me with no hiccups. For me, that's
give an example.
Example?
Yeah.
Shit. All right. I think my example is this one bit me and Jake did over at CEO where I had this nigga pretend to be a cop, asking about paraphernalia. Probably the biggest one though. Nah, this one is OD. Me, Bum, and Posey did a 3-man commentary for a tournament, and we managed to do that shit.
The comp, right?
It was a comp for West Coast. We did that shit without stepping over each other the entire time. For me, that shit was legitimately probably like one of the biggest flows for me. Just in commentary. Because 3-man commentary isn't easy to do. It's a lot harder than 2-man. And to do that without like stepping over each other was like, that shit was godlike. In terms of competition, I think specifically for me, flow state is eliminating the time it takes to analyze a situation and then acting, right? So when you flow, your brain consistently is just analyzing all data and allowing you to react on that and like full sync. This nigga came in here choking on hookah smoke. This nigga.
Somebody came? Who's in here? Posey.
Hey, yeah.
Jordan just came in. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Daniel. Next time you do this shit, you might want to do like a private.
Yeah, you're
channel
right.
shit, so niggas don't just pull up. Not nothing wrong with posing or nothing, but just in general.
There's something wrong with me. I can leave, gang.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
If
to
I'm
shoot a
not,
shot at you, gang.
if I'm
No,
not welcome, I
no,
understand.
no. It's not a shot at you, but I understand what Kelly means.
Nah,
Hey,
but
Daniel.
I do like that Acoustics brought that up, the commentary, because flow state is not a competitive specific thing or even a gaming specific thing. Flow state occurs in any task that you're focusing on. You can induce flow state.
Do you
Like
tap
that's
into
literally
music
a
like
life
that?
thing.
When you're singing or making a song or anything, or making a
Yes,
beat?
absolutely.
Do
There
you
have been
tap into
times when I
that?
was in the booth recording a song and I just felt exactly how to hit a specific line, the cadence or the type of way to say it, or exactly what ad lib to use where. Like it's
That's
a
facts.
universal thing. It's a flow state is
That's
not
facts.
just a gaming thing or a competitive thing. You can activate it in
I
all
write-
aspects of life.
Bro,
Okay.
when I write, sometimes I just tap in and then like just time flies by. Like it just feels like you're on air.
Yeah, no, literally.
Okay, that's valid. Posey, do you have something you want to add to the flow state?
Oh my
But, oh my Lord Jesus. Posey.
Yeah, okay. On my fault. I was just
Please,
having one
don't do that in my ears again, bro. Please.
I apologize. So the flow state, right? I think Kelly makes a good point, right? Like, yeah, I know I work a physical job. And I work with cooling towers. Sometimes I throw on some music, man, and them towers get clean. And sometimes I look at the difference. And I'm like, I can't believe I did that. But like, that's an example, right? Like, you step into this flow state where you just everything around you gets like pretty much blacked out, and like you just focus on that task and you just body it, right?
Bro, use the word to describe the word. I sleep.
You know
Bro
what I
said
mean?
flow state. It's when you flow state. You feel me?
That's everything, you feel me? But like, yeah, so like
Okay.
I tapped into it, like in terms of like tapping into the flow state I have. Against Cali, no offense, Cali, like I was in that state. I
I'll
feel
kill you, nigga. Oh, in Minecraft. Oh my god.
you feel me? Like I had the flow state when I was playing against Cali. Like I had that flow state against Nitro the other day. And then for commentary, when I commentated with Yipes, it felt flawless in Paris. It's like the one time.
Interesting.
So like I've tapped into it a couple times. I think it's cool. I think it's sick when you experience it though. And when you play against someone in that same state, I think that's always cool. So
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty
Flow
much
state is
what
when
I
I
got.
find that perfect porn video, and I can like bust like one after another right afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Bro.
all
That's
right.
not
Stop,
flow
stop,
state. That's
stop.
just you being horny.
Yes, relax.
I be
That is
flowing.
But-
not. Yo,
Relax. All right.
yo, nigga.
All right. But I think we had some good talks today though overall. For sure. I don't if you guys want to plug yourselves in, go ahead.
Niggas know me.
It's
But,
your boy
Gangsta.
Acoustics.
Gangster.
You know what I'm saying? You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch at Acoustics. I'll be streaming later on tonight. Not right now. There's a comedy show going on. I want to see it. There's some baddie performing. So I'll catch y'all, you know what I'm saying, like about like 2 hours or something.
So real.
Shout outs to Cali, niggas know me. Feel me?
Real.
All right.
100% niggas know me. Now follow me on Twitter, Posey_92. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitch too, Posey92. And follow my YouTube, Back Up Posey.
Oos. But
Nigga came for one question
over-
at the end. Crazy.
huh? But all right. But okay, all right. I appreciate all you guys being here today. I'm definitely gonna tap into the private channel.
Yeah, that's
But-
definitely that ain't gonna count.
But
Don't worry,
Kite,
it was definitely
Kite,
bad fun. Appreciate you, gang.
Kite didn't say anything. Kite, final thoughts?
Oh, I'm about to stream after this.
Oos.
I'm
Yeah, I
like,
heard
stream
that.
after that.
All right, but say that. But all right. No, appreciate you guys being here, Callie. Appreciate you. You already know.
I'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you at the 6 p.m. Tuesday podcast.
Wait, so
Yeah.
is this? Are you? I thought you were doing like a rotating guesting. Were you trying to?
Yeah, yeah, no. I'm
Well, I mean, it is a
rotating.
rotated
Yeah,
destiny, but
rotating.
It's me, Daniel, J-Bo.
I cannot hear.
Yeah, I can't hear you anyways. I didn't even hear myself when I was talking.
Yeah, Daniel, what were you saying, bro?
I said we're doing it on a weekly. Like I think 6 p.m. is a good time. We could do it every Tuesday at 6 p.m. I think this is a valid time. Everybody's home. We could just chill, have a conversation, and rotate guests. Like this week we had you come on. Acoustic showed up randomly, but it's cool.
Facts.
But I think we can have anybody else that wants to tap into the week. The week's coming along. I'm open to having that, but initially it'll be Kite, J-Ball, and I.
Invite me next week, gang, so I can talk my shit and be
Oh
nothing.
my god.
But
A podcast on Posey is mad fun.
But yeah, I appreciate everybody being on here.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Niggas need a podcast about DBFZ.
Alright. DBZ podcast is done. Alright. Appreciate you guys. Kite, let me know. Kite, let me know when you boot up.
Alright, bet.
Alright. Fellas started being obnoxious. But I appreciate everybody coming through. It was definitely a lot of fun overall. Like I really do appreciate it. If anybody has topics, like I put out a tweet earlier, say anybody that wants to participate in the podcast or have any hot takes or anything like that, let me know what you guys think overall. But for next week, if you guys want to be part of the podcast for the DBZ podcast, let me know and we can get you guys in there. I'm gonna put Kusik in the confessions room because that's where he belongs. Callie, you already know, Brody. I appreciate you coming through. Callie. It was definitely good talks overall. So interesting discussions. It's good. It's a good way to get perspectives on the community, what people think overall, which is why I want to rotate guests because it's always good. Like last week we had Double O saying he's a soldier boy of the DBFZ community, right? And then we have Callie actually speaking his truth. So sometimes players just need somewhere to speak out and overall just talk like how they feel, the perspective of the game, things that we could do better as a community to improve and stuff like that. So I appreciate everybody coming through. That's definitely lit. Also, if you guys don't know, we're hosting Angelic 8. We're hosting Angelic 8. It's gonna be happening the first weekend of January. So January 6th to January 8th, we're gonna be hosting Angelic 8. On the first day, we're gonna have a 8-man bracket, first to 3 between the 8 Angels. The 8 Angels have not been fully announced yet. I'll announce them soon. Probably next week. I'll announce all the players, but they're gonna be playing the first to 3 double elimination bracket. That'll be a lot of lit. That'll be a lot of lit, a lot of fun for sure. On Saturday, January 7th, is gonna be a tag team tournament. My mother will be cooking for all the players. So if you guys are able to help contribute to the Angelic 8 funds, I would really appreciate that. We're gonna have also Match Arena. I'm gonna try to get Match Arena up and running for everybody. But for day 2, for January 7th, we're gonna have a tag team tournament, and it's gonna be completely random. So the way the teams are gonna be selected, we're gonna have the 8 demons that participated in Posey's Demonic 8 event, and the 8 angels. I'm gonna have them all the names of the 8 angels. I'm gonna have it inside of a hat, and one by one, each demon is gonna select the hat. It's gonna select the name from the hat, and that'll be their partner. So it'll be a tag team tournament, first to 2 between the players. Okay, single elimination bracket. And that'll be a lot of fun. And then Sunday, January 8th, it'll just be like a chill day for exhibitions, call-out matches. So if you guys didn't know about Angelic 8, now y'all know. And you guys are able to help out contributing to the funds and stuff like that, I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, this is going to help us get the players, get them some money for the tournament. But at the very least, help them get fed. You know, we're going to get the players fed. If I can't give you guys a lot of money for winning the tournament, at least I'll get you guys some food in your system at the very least. So I appreciate all you guys here, and if you guys are not following your boy, please follow your boy in the social medias. You feel me? Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. Show some love to the YouTube. This podcast, this whole episode, the full 3 hours, I'm gonna post it onto YouTube either tomorrow morning or later this week. But show some love to the YouTube channel. We're gonna be posting the podcast. This is a weekly episodes. You feel me? So yeah, what do you guys think overall? Can I get some thoughts from everyone? What do you guys think about the podcast overall? Like, can I get some community-wide thoughts?